Live from Gov Fuller Field, welcome to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. It sets here finally after a couple rainy days off. The Braves taking on the Falmouth Commodores here from Falmouth, Massachusetts. Welcome in, folks. Jordan Palacio here alongside Sam Wiederhalf now. Sam, let's quickly talk about the Commodores, the only unbeaten team so far in the Cape League, while the Braves have yet to get a W. When you see this Falmouth team, what are the things that stats out?
Well, the offense is certainly one. You mentioned they're the only undefeated team so far. They tied Hyannis last night in a 9-9 game, in a game which Falmouth was down early in that one. Hyannis had the early advantage, and Falmouth battled back, went 10 innings, and got the tie. So they remain unbeaten, and certainly the offense has to be something you got to talk about. Like I said, 9 innings last night, and for the Braves, the pitching has really been the only bright spot for them so far. They've allowed 5 runs through 2 games, but it's really been one bad inning that's really came back to haunt the Braves. The relief pitching has looked good. Really, all we got to see here is some offense, and the Braves should be set.
Now, they should be set, and you would hope after a couple days, maybe a couple extra days of practice, that they are able to go out and attack the baseball. Let's go over the starting lineup for the Braves. Leading off today, Xavier Warren playing third base. Following him from Arizona State, Alec Williams playing shortstop. Alec Burleson making his Cape League debut in right field. A.J. Curtis batting cleanup at first base. Jimmy Gluenke batting DH, the only person with an RBI for the Braves. Brennan Rivoli following him in left field. Jake Mckenzie making his debut this season at second base, along with Paul Gazzo behind the dish catching tonight. And rounding out the lineup in the 9 spots is Kyle Hess. On the mound for the Commodores, Chris Gonzalez. And Sam, when you see Chris Gonzalez, what are we expecting him to do tonight?
Well, Chris, in 2019, with Stetson, he has a 3.40 ERA with a 7-3 record. Pitched over 90 innings, so plenty of experience on his side. He's a big strikeout pitcher, throwing 73 strikeouts and 22 walks. Already has some summer league experience. Back in 2018, played for the Plymouth Pilgrims, had a 4.50 ERA with a 1-2 record there. So he's a rising junior from Stetson, 6'1", 210, another left-handed pitcher. We've seen a lot of those in the Cape League through 2 games, so it'll certainly be interesting to see how the Braves lineup does against Chris Gonzalez here tonight.
Michael Turner is catching for Falmouth tonight and is going to be Austin Langworthy at first base. Hayden Cantrell at second, Trey Cruz at short, Steven Moretto at third, and in the outfield, Austin Mazzell in left, Blake Dunn in center, and it is going to be Maddox Hutton over in right field. Xavier Warren is in the box. He gets a first pitch strike, and we are underway from Gov Fuller Field.
And this is Xavier Warren's first start since the first game against Orleans, playing third. We saw some great fielding from him in that game. Went 0 for 3, so he's looking to get the bat heated up.
Fouls this one off straight back toward us. You mentioned it, 0 for 3 with a walk, a stolen base in that one game played against Orleans. Falmouth coming off a 9-9 tie last night. Pretty crazy game, down by as many as 5 runs in that one against the Harbor Hawks. 1-1 pitch is going to miss up and out. Excuse me, 0-2 pitch is going to miss up and out, now making the count 1 and 2.
And Warren's a guy that likes to battle at Central Michigan. Walked an astounding 59 times, so he'll run this at bat deep in the pitch count.
The switch hitter Warren, strike 3 right at the knees, and he goes down looking for out number 1.
Well, that's an exciting start for Chris Gonzalez, throwing a 4-pitch strikeout on the leadoff batter for Bourne, and Warren goes down. He's 0 for 4 on the season now. That's something that Bourne really needs to start doing, is getting ahead early in the game. We've seen them struggle on the hitting side earlier in the games, and certainly need to switch that around.
Alika Williams fouls his first pitch right back into the fence for strike 1. He went 0 for 4 in that game against Harwich with a strikeout, 3 flyouts, all to each position in the outfield. And he's a guy that we are thinking most likely is going to be leaving to try out for Team USA, Sam.
Yeah, absolutely. He spent the whole summer with Bourne last year and certainly has the talent to play for a team like Team USA.
0-1 pitch misses outside, evens things up at a ball and a strike. Batting in the 2 spot here today after batting a cleanup against the Mariners. Here's the 1-1 that misses down and out. And Alika now has a 2-1 lead. Batted .333 for Arizona State last year, up 53 points from the year before. 4 home runs, 17 extra base hits. Here's a 2-1 that's going to be fouled off. And the count now grows to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And this Bourne team yesterday, after getting a surprise cancellation of their game, we showed up to the field and said the infield was too spongy and too wet to play.
2-2 pitches found. A sunny rainout, Sam.
Yeah, certainly. It was raining really all day on Thursday. Friday didn't really see too much rain, and the field, I guess, just a little too wet to play. But they got a practice in, got some batting practice as well.
2-2 pitch misses up and in, and the count grows full at 3-2.
And that was really the first practice this team has had with the full squad. They had a couple practices last week to gear up for the season, but not everybody was here.
Here's the payoff to Williams. It's going to be a ground ball up the middle, just past Cruz at shortstop, and the Bourne Braves have their first hit of the afternoon.
And that's big. That hasn't happened through the first 2 games. The number 2 batter in the lineup already getting a single, so showing improvement. That's something, like I said, the Braves have to do here early, is get to Gonzalez, get some hits, get some base runners, and those will turn into runs throughout the game. Now
here's a guy with a lot of hype around him, and for good reason. Alec Burleson, coming from East Carolina, making his first start, his debut here tonight, batted, get this, Sam, a .370 over for East Carolina, 9 home runs, 61 RBIs, and the thing is, he's not even really normally a DH.
No, absolutely not. It's a two-way player, also pitches.
Takes a first pitch strike down at the knees. It's going to be the first time Gonzalez works out of the stretch here in the Cape League as well.
Burleson was signed and activated 2 days ago. Finally gets his first playing experience here. Don't really know how long he's going to stay here for. But
right. 0-1 pitch, same spot. 0-2 is the count. Burleson now having to battle from behind here in this first at-bat. Gets the sign from Harvey Shapiro down the third baseline, and we are all set for the 0-2. Gonzalez kicks and fires. It's going to be a ground ball right to the third baseman, Moretto. He throws on to second. It's going to be an out on the transfer. Cantrell could not handle that throw in the dirt, could not get it out in time, so it's going to be a fielder's choice for Burleson.
Yeah, it took a weird hop at the end of the grass, and luckily Cantrell was able to keep it in his grasp, flip it over to short, and just a little bit of bobbling on the exchange on the throw over to first. So Burleson still gets over to first, but on the fielder's choice, and we'll see what Curtis can do here in the cleanup.
Yeah, that's right. A.J. Curtis from Cal State Fullerton, 1 for 7 so far this season in both games played, batting only 1 for 7, 143 average, and has a chance to make an impact here with 2 away in the first. And the first pitch from Gonzalez right down the middle for strike 1.
And he's occupying the space that normally Shane Muntz, we've seen through 2 games,
right,
would be having. Muntz, the best batter in this lineup so far, had 2 hits in the opening game, including a double, got another one against Harwich. He's really been the only batter that's seen success.
Here is the 0-1 from Gonzalez, ripped towards second base. Cantrell's got it. He's going to flip over to Cruz for the 4-6 put out rather, and that is going to be the top of the first inning. No runs off of 1 hit, no earned runs, nobody left on, and we're going to head to the bottom of the first, still tied 0-0. You're listening here on the Braves Radio Network. Welcome back to the Gov Fuller Field here for the Braves versus the Commodores. Let's run through the Commodore starting lineup. Hayden Cantrell leads off, playing second base, followed by Trey Cruz. Over at shortstop, Austin Langworthy. And first base, batting the 3-hole. Cleanup is Baron Radcliffe, the DH. Stephen Moretto playing third is in the 5 spot. Michael Turner behind the dish, catching in the 6. Blake Dunn over in center is the 7. Austin Maisel in left field is the 8. And Maddox Houghton over in right field rounds out the lineup. And on the mound for the Braves is going to be Ryan Susick. Sam, when we look at Ryan Susick, big, tall guy, what are we expecting out of him?
Yeah, absolutely. 6'6", 215, a very lengthy arm for him. He's been described by Wake Forest head coach Tom Walter as having a mid-90s fastball that's eventually going to get better than that, a good slider, and a solid changeup as well. He was actually drafted in the 2018 draft by the Reds in the 40th round, so obviously a lot of talent on the mound for the Braves tonight. At Wake Forest last year went 7-3 with a 6.44 ERA, so some struggles with that number, but pitched just over 65 innings with a OBP of 313. So he's been tabbed as the starter for the past 3 days.
Yes, he
and
has.
finally gets to start here today. You got to imagine he's very excited for this opportunity.
Yeah, he's probably been sitting on pins and needles for quite a while. The defensive alignment for the Braves. Sussex on the mound. Paul Gazzo behind the plate. Xavier Warren at third. Alika Williams over at short. Jake Mckenzie at second. A.J. Curtis at first. Brendan Rivoli in left. Kyle Hess in center. And Alec Burleson over in right field. Umpiring crew here tonight. Patrick Burns behind the plate. Mike Finn over there at first base. And at third base, Joe Carrasco. Mid-90s fastball for Ryan Sussex, and you'd imagine you'd probably see it here first pitch against Hayden Cantrell. He kicks and fires, and it's going to be down and in for ball one.
Well, there it was. Backs Cantrell off the plate, but for the Braves starters, they've been solid so far, usually allowing just one bad inning. Both starters for the Braves through 2 games have allowed a 2-run inning. That's really been the difference.
1-0 pitch is tipped into Gazzo's glove for strike one. Cantrell coming out of the University of Lafayette batted .301 this past year as he takes ball 2 down and in. 63 hits, 10 doubles, about 30 RBIs. Rising junior. Played in summer ball last year, only batting a measly 175. Here's the 2-1 to Cantrell. It's going to be fouled down the first baseline.
And you typically see those summer league averages typically on the lower side. We know, especially in the Cape Cod League, that it's so pitcher dominated. It's really about failure on the batting side. They really haven't seen these pitchers before, this kind of pitching, and especially for the Braves. I mean, we've really seen that through the first 2 games.
Absolutely. I mean, you've seen pitches for the very first time. It takes a little bit of adjusting. Here's the 2-2 from Sussex, and that's going to be down and in for ball 3.
Well, if I'm Sussex here, I don't want to give a free base to Cantrell on the first batter in this lineup, giving him probably a fastball, something to hit.
Let's see if you're right. Here's the 3-2 to Cantrell. It's going to be fouled down the right field line, down the first base line, and we're going to do things again here, 3-2.
Cantrell at University of Louisiana Lafayette really upped the home run numbers. Was a 4 home run batter in 2018 and up that to 9 this past season.
Here's a 3-2. Swung on and missed, and it's a first batter, first strikeouts for Ryan Sussex.
That's big for Sussex. Like I said, he's been tabbed as the starter for the past 3 days. 2 of them got rained out. He finally gets his opportunity here. You can imagine the nerves are flowing, but to strike out Cantrell on the first batter is certainly big for the confidence.
Absolutely. Now up steps Trey Cruz for the Commodores out of Rice University, batting .305 for the Owls this past year. First pitch, foul tipped into Gazzo's glove for strike 1.
Cruz for Rice had over a 300 batting average at .305. 71 hits on the season, 11 doubles, and another batter with 9 homers for their college team.
Sussex now here with the 0-1 lead. It's going to be a line drive over to Mckenzie. He picks it up on a hop and makes the easy throw to first base for out number 2.
Well, Mckenzie getting his first start of the Cape Cod Baseball League season over at second base. In 3 games, we've seen 3 different starters over at second. And right there was Mckenzie on a very hard hit line drive from Cruz, was able to field it cleanly as it bounced right before him. Short throw over to first, 2 gone.
2 easy outs so far for Sussex, and that does wonders for your confidence, especially when it's your first start out in this baseball league. Austin Langworthy now for the Commodores out of Florida gets his first pitch. That's going to miss down and inside for ball 1. Langworthy batting just a hair under 285 at 283 this season for the Gators. Sussex taking the time. Now steps and fires. Off speed. It's going to be grounded over to Curtis at first base. Sussex is there. Steps on first. And it's a 1-2-3 inning of his own for the Bourne Braves. No hits. Nobody left on. And no runs for the Commodore. Sussex works a clean first inning. We're going to be back here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. 5, 6, 7 spots due up here for the Braves this half inning. Leading off, Jimmy Glowenke, the only player, Sam, to have an RBI on this team.
Yeah, went 1 for 3 in the Harwich game on Wednesday back at home, an RBI double. That has been the only run come across the plate for the Bourne Braves. So Glowenke some success in that first game. We'll see if we can continue that momentum.
Swings and misses at his first pitch from Gonzalez. Glowenke out of Dallas Baptist batted .330 this past year, .328 to be exact. 6 home runs, 43 RBIs, 53 runs scored. So he spends a lot of time on base. 0-1 is swung on and missed, and he quickly falls behind 0-2.
And Gonzalez has started him out with 2 tough off-speed pitches. And Glowenke's been expecting fastball both times.
The 1-2 pitch is popped up on the infield. Trey Cruz is going to give way to the center fielder, Dunn, who is able to corral it for out number 1 in shallow center.
Well, that's a nice 3-pitch out that Gonzalez is going to love. Works right through Glowenke. We know is going to be, as the season goes on, one of the most dangerous batters in this lineup, and sets him down for out number 1 here in the second.
Brendan Rivoli now for the Braves, still looking for his first hit of the very early Cape season. 0 for 7 so far with 4 strikeouts in both of the Braves games. Gets his first pitch from Gonzalez. Going to be a breaking ball, just missing outside.
A player from Virginia that's really struggled in his first 2 games, like you said. 4 strikeouts of 7 at-bats, so it's going to be important for him to be patient here in the at-bats he gets tonight.
0-1 is in the zone, says home plate umpire Patrick Burns. Rivoli clearly disagreeing with that call. However, found himself at a 1-1 count. The off-speed pitch is going to be chopped up the middle. That is going to be Cantrell on the play, and he makes the throw over to first base in time for out number 2.
Well, we saw Cantrell have a little bit of trouble last inning on an exchange on a double play chance to throw over to first, but that time on a slow hopper over to him, he's able to get it out and fire it to first in a very short amount of time to get a pretty speedy Rivoli over at first base for the second out.
Now a new face here in the Braves lineup. Jake Mckenzie takes a strike for his first pitch of the at-bat. Mckenzie out of Fordham is one of the only returners on this team. Batted .305 last season as he hacks at strike 2.
Yeah, Mckenzie was named to the Collegiate Baseball Freshman All-American team back in 2018.
The 0-2 pitch misses high and outside for ball 1.
Had a big 2018 season. He was the A10 Rookie of the Year as well. 1
ball and 2 strikes. And here's the pitch to Mckenzie. Breaking ball in the dirt. He thought about it, but was able to hold back. Even things up at 2-2. 0-0 still our score here at Gove Fuller Field between the Commodores and the Braves. Bourne looking for their first win on the early season. Gonzalez steps off here. And everybody resets, and we'll do it here. 2 balls and 2 strikes. To number 2, Jake Mckenzie. It's going to be a pop-up on the infield. Everyone crashing in. Cruz is calling for it, and he puts it away for outs number 3. Another 1-2-3 inning here. No hits, no runs, nobody left on. We're going to head to the bottom of the second here. Tied at 0-0. You're listening here on the Bourne Braves Radio Network. 4, 5, 6 spots due up here for the Commodores in the home half of the second inning. Ryan Cusick on the mound for the Braves. And now, Sam, Braves have a brutal schedule due to that couple rainouts. Next off day is scheduled for June 27th. How important is a good start here out of Cusick?
Well, it's certainly interesting to think about because most of these college players are so used to playing a weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday series with possibly a midweek game in between. So a lot of these guys haven't played this kind of a stretch of games in such a short amount of time. And for Cusick, it's going to be important for him to go a certain amount of distance for Bourne to not use the amount of arms that they've used in the past couple games. You want to keep those arms rested for this long stretch, and you want to make use of what you got.
Baron Radcliffe now for the Commodores almost got hit on that first pitch from Cusick. Ball 1. Radcliffe coming from Georgia Tech, batted 195 this past season. 4 home runs, 16 RBIs. It's a rising junior this coming year. Here's the 1-0. That one finds his own and even things up at a ball and a strike. Windy day here in Falmouth.
As it has been every day.
Yeah, all across the Cape. Here's the 1-1. That one catches the inside part of the plate for strike 2. Cusick finds himself ahead here.
That was a great frame from Paul Gazzo behind the plate, getting his first start at catcher.
1 ball and 2 strikes, the counts to Radcliffe. Cusick gets his sign and kicks and fires. The 1-2 swung on and missed, and that's strikeout number 2 for Ryan Cusick.
Well, that's big for Cusick to strike out both of the leadoff batters in the first 2 innings. It starts Falmouth off really on the downside of things here in the inning with already 1 out, and gets a great start for Cusick here.
Stephen Moretto now for the Commodores out of Sacramento State. Batted .216 this past season, 53 hits, 74 strikeouts is the thing to look out for with this guy.
Yeah, certainly with Cusick already throwing 2 strikeouts. We'll look out for that.
First pitch is going to be fouled off down the first base line. Has a foul pole on its way down. Cusick ready for the 0-1 and delivers. Off-speed pitch in the zone for strike 2, and Cusick has been working very efficiently through the lineup so far.
Absolutely. Moretto, a player that's no stranger to strikeouts. He had 66 in his first season as well, and you mentioned 74 last year. We'll see what Cusick gives him here, 0-2.
Might go waste pitch here. Here's the 0-2. Off-speed pitch just misses the zone. Maybe a little outside, maybe a little down. However, Moretto lives to see another pitch.
That was another great frame from Gazzo. Just couldn't get the call there, but Cusick's still ahead in the at-bat. Has a few more pitches to go.
Here's the 1-2. That one is in the zone, no doubt about it. That's another strikeout for Cusick.
Cusick's rolling here through the first 1 inning and 2 third innings as well as Cusick really setting down Stephen Moretto.
Michael Turner now the catcher steps in for the Commodores. Out of Kent State University, batting a .370 this past season. Lots of hits, 42 RBIs, and a slugging percentage of .539. Cusick delivers his first pitch. That one misses down. Ball 1.
Yeah, he had a great average at Kent State, but you have to remember that's in the MAC, and the MAC certainly doesn't have the level of pitching that we're seeing here in the Cape, so he'll have to adjust a little bit.
Here is the 1-0 to Turner. Going to be ground ball down third base, just past the outstretched dive of Xavier Warren. It's going to be the first hit of the night for the Commodores. And Turner's not stopping at first. He's going to second, and he's going to be in there safely. Just found the right spot, and it's a 2-out double.
A hard hit ball from Turner the opposite way, right down the line. There was nothing Warren can do over at third, and possibly a better throw from Rivoli over and left. Might have been close. The throw over to second was a little off target, but Turner gets on with the 2 outs. They're showing a little bit of life here in the second.
Blake Dunn now for the Commodores. Out of Western Michigan, batting .375. Played in the Great Lakes Collegiate League last summer, batting .330. Has a chance to get Falmouth on the board here tonight. Cusick now being forced to work in the stretch. Delivers pitch outside for ball 1.
And Dunn's hot start has already been highlighted by the Cape Cod Baseball League. Was named as one of the performances to watch after his first opening day performance with a 2-hit, 2 RBI game.
Cusick looking in here. And now comes set, hands at the sternum. Now delivers the 1-0. It's going to be swung on and missed for strike one. Cusick, not a very big leg kick out of the stretch, just a little slide step down to the plate. Turner, the runner at second base for the Commodores. 0-0 our score here in the bottom of the second. Cusick sets. And now delivers the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed for strike two, and Cusick one pitch away from getting out of the second inning.
Cusick's going to get a lot of batters on that high fastball. Just got a tough swing from Blake Dunn. Look for him to continue to use that and possibly 1 strike or 2 strike counts to get these batters to chase.
It would be nice if he would be able to get him to chase right here. Very deliberate in the stretch, taking his time. He sets, and now here's the 1-2 pitch. That one in the zone. No, just miss it. Paul Gazzo thought it was a strike. So did the entire Braves dugout. Just missed, possibly a little bit down, and it's all knotted up here. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, that was certainly close, and for Cusick on the mound, that's a tough one to get over, but he's got to throw a great 2-2 pitch here to stay or to set Blake Dunn down here in this at-bat.
Just a little too low for home plate umpire Patrick Burns. And we'll do things again here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 people out, and a runner at second base for the Commodores. Cusick sets, and now fires a 2-2. It's going to be a fly ball into right field. Burleson is back on it. He's under it, and he's got it with one hand, very nonchalantly, has the 3rd out of the inning. There's going to be no runs on 1 hit. Nobody scoring, 1 left on, and it is a clean bottom of the second there for Cusick after giving out the 2-out double. We're heading to the top of the third. Still 0-0 here on the Braves Baseball Network. Paul Gazzo leading things off for the Braves here in the top of the 3rd inning, followed by Kyle Hess, and then we back at the top of the order with Xavier Warren. Paul Gazzo, catcher out of UConn, will be getting us started. Played in 2 summer leagues last season, won the New England Baseball Collegiate League, and in the Futures Collegiate Baseball League. He's a transfer from Tulane to UConn, and he just finished his first season with the Huskies, batting .282, 4 home runs, and 13 RBIs, a .485 slugging percentage, which was a 200-point increase from his first season with Tulane.
Gazzo, a pretty consistent hitter coming out of UConn, gets his first start here tonight, but the Braves already 1 hit down, which is some success. It's an improvement, at least from the first 2 games that we've seen, and the last inning getting contact on every single pitch that Gonzalez was able to throw. So 3 outs last inning, but they're starting to get to him here in the 3rd.
First pitch to Gazzo finds the zone. He falls behind 0-1. This one, though, misses below the knees, and that even stings up at a ball and a strike. Here is the 1-1 to Gazzo. That one misses down and in. 2-1 now, the count.
Gonzalez is a very fast pitcher. Not a lot of time in between pitches.
No, very much so. Once he gets into his rhythm, he's going to stay in it. Here's the 2-1. That misses up and out for ball 3. And a leadoff walk would certainly do the Braves a lot of good. Here's the 3-1 pitch to Gazzo. Swung on and missed, and he took a big hack at it. Everything now fills up at 3-2.
And he got him with that tough fastball he's been throwing, at least through the first 2 innings, pretty frequently. Gets Gazzo swinging a 3-2 count.
Here's the payoff pitch from Gonzalez. It's going to be fouled off, and everybody will reset, and we'll do it one more time.
Falmouth is a team that hasn't won the Cape Cod Baseball League Championship since 1980. They've had a few championship game appearances.
3-2 is fouled. And it's going to be toward the fence and just over the fence. Langworthy was making an effort to get over there, having to dodge the pitcher's mound, their bullpen over here at the Gov to get there.
Yeah, certainly a unique field here at Gov Fuller Field. The dugouts running more on the smaller side. If you look at the Falmouth, not all their players can even fit in the dugout.
Neither on the Brave side as well, using a hitting screen to block it. Here's a 3-2. It's another foul. Gazzo really working a nice at-bat here against Gonzalez.
Yeah, this is important for the Braves, especially early, to work up the pitch count for Gonzalez, work deep in at-bats, and force him to battle you through so he gets tired as we move on here and get later on in the game.
Falmouth with a 9-9 tie last night, using a lot of pitchers in that one. The 3-2 pitch is off speed. Gazzo swings and misses, and it's a strikeout for out number one.
That was a great pitch by Gonzalez. He had worked a couple fastballs in there toward the later end of that at-bat and finally gets Gazzo on a tough breaking ball, was way out in front of it, and sets him down for the first out.
Second strikeout tonight for Gonzalez, and up steps Kyle Hess. Played in both games so far this season. He's batting 1 for 6, couple strikeouts. It's a 167 average so far for the outfielder out of Pittsburgh. Gonzalez kicks and fires, and this one's going to be a fly ball to shallow left field, and it looks like Maisel is under it, and he's got it for out number 2.
Oh, back to the top of the lineup and through the first 9 batters for Gonzalez. He's only given up 1 hit, but like I said, he struck out 2. But other than that, the Braves have been able to get some solid contact on Gonzalez. They're just going right to the field.
Xavier Warren now for the Braves, switch hitter out of Central Michigan. Gets his first pitch. That one outside, possibly a little up as well for ball 1. Thought of as a mainstay in the Central Michigan program. 1-0 is going to be fouled off, evening the count up at 1 ball and 1 strike. And you see Xavier Warren in batting practice. You see him taking infield. This guy just screams athleticism, Sam.
Yeah, absolutely. We were watching him take batting practice earlier today, and he was putting balls over the right field fence, over the left field fence, spraying them all over the outfield as well. So a lot of power coming from his side, but also a lot of speed and athleticism as well.
2-1 misses outside. And Warren gets the pitch from Gonzalez. That misses outside as well. 3 balls and 1 strike now the count.
And Warren's a player that started 40 games at shortstop for Central Michigan, so that's where he normally likes to play. That's his main position. Has gotten the start now in 2 games out of the 3 at third base.
Here's a 3-1. That's going to be a fly ball into deep center field. Dunn going back on at the track, at the wall. Say adios. Xavier Warren hits a home run, his first of the Cape League, the first Braves home run of the season, and it's 1-0 Bourne.
Well, that was his count to jump on, a 3-1 pitch, and puts it out to straightaway center field, the deepest part of the ballpark. And just like we were talking about, we saw him spraying balls over the fence in batting practice, and he tees off on one there, and Bourne gets up early.
Great piece of hitting, working the count in his favor. And finally, Braves leading for the first time all season long. Alika Williams now follows that up with a single into right center field on his first pitch.
This is the kind of hitting we've been looking for after 2 games.
Yeah, Sam, I was just about to say, they say hitting is contagious, and now upsets possibly the hardest out in the lineup, Alec Burleson.
Yeah, with the lineup starting to do well here, you get some momentum on your side, and Gonzalez certainly has to be defeated, suffering that 2-out home run. Now has to worry about Burleson, the possibly best hitter in this lineup. Stand with a runner on first, too.
Williams, the runner on first base. Burleson, 0 for 1 with a fielder's choice. Looks at ball 1 down in the dirt.
Now, Warren only homered 8 times in the collegiate season, and keep in mind that's with an aluminum bat. Switches over to wood bats, and in the second game started, he puts one over to center field wall.
Here's the 1-0 to Burleson. That's down low, ball 2. And he's been working on the power. Didn't hit any home runs his first year playing collegiately. Jumped it up to 8, and now has hit his first with the Bourne Braves in this season. Gonzalez sets now, kicks the 2-0 pitch. Is going to be a fly ball. It's going to be in shallow center field. Here comes Dunn on it, And it's going to fall for a base hit. It fell in between Cruz and Dunn. Alika Williams trying to score from first base. The throw is cut off, and it's 2-0 Braves.
Well, Burleson put that in the perfect spot, shallow center field. And running over for it was center Blake Dunn and Trey Cruz. Nobody called it, and it was a tough ball for both of them. Cruz was backpedaling to it, and Blake Dunn had a far way to run to be able to get that ball, and Burleson gets on, and an RBI, Bourne's up 2-0.
Yeah, check that out. He hit the ball barely past second base, and in his second at-bat, he's already got an RBI. And what great base running, by the way, from Alika Williams, knowing the situation, 2 outs, and coming all the way around first base on a shallow fly ball. A.J. Curtis now for the Braves. Hit into a fielder's choice himself last time up, and he takes strike 1 down the heart of the plate.
This is the game that Bourne needed at least early to get 2 runs across the plate in the first 3 innings after only scoring 1 run through the first 2 games. Get a couple off days, collect yourselves, get a nice practice in yesterday, and come out with the bats firing.
The 0-1 pitch is past the catcher Turner, and it's going to allow Burleson to advance to third and evens the count up at a ball and a strike.
I believe they did score that, a hit for Burleson. So 4 hits for Bourne after only getting 7 through the first 2 games.
It all was coming to a head. Eventually, the bottle was going to explode, and it looks like it just did this inning. Here's the 1-1 to Curtis. That one is down low as well. 2-1 now the count.
I believe it was Brewster's manager a couple days ago who said that all Cape Cod Baseball League games decided in the first 4 innings, and we've seen that through the first 2 days, and especially with the relief pitching we've seen, they certainly are.
2-1 pitches in the dirt. Curtis fooled there by the breaking ball. Swings at it, evens things up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Those first 4 innings are so crucial to get a good start and get some runs on the starter, because we know how good the relief pitching is in this league.
2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 away here. Alec Burleson, the runner, on third base. Here's the pitch. It's going to ground ball up the middle. Base hit, and it's going to be an RBI for A.J. Curtis. 3-0 to score. Braves on top.
Curtis not trying to do too much with it and perfectly gets a single right up the middle, just enough to get Burleson home from third, and Bourne up 3-0 here in the third.
Talk about the 2-out hitting right now for the Braves. 3 straight hits, a home run, single. Jimmy Glowenke takes a first pitch strike right at the knees. And definitely, you can almost feel the tension being let out of the Braves dugout as Glowenke fouls this one off to bring the count to 0-2.
Yeah, this is big for Gonzalez. He's ahead in the count 0-2 on Glowenke, who we know is going to be pretty crucial throughout the summer. He needs to stop the bleeding here and give a great 0-2 pitch to strike Glowenke out.
Here's the 0-2 to Glowenke. It's off speed, and it was a great pitch. He got him looking for outs number 3. But what an inning for the Bourne Braves. 3 runs on it. Looks like it's going to be 4 hits, 1 left on, and we head to the bottom of the third inning. It's 3-0 Braves, and you're listening to it on the Braves Baseball Network. The Braves are up for 3 runs in the top half of the 3rd inning and now have to defend them. 8-9-1 spots due up for the Commodores. And now, Sam, how big is it? You have Cusick working through the order, has a long break there. How important is it for him to get out and early out here?
Yeah, it's big. He certainly has a cushion now, which no Braves pitcher has had all season, and he's got a 3-run cushion to work with. He's done pretty well through the first half of this lineup and just has to put away the back half and get back on the offensive sides for some more offensive production for the Braves.
Austin Maisel takes strike 1 down at the knees. Maisel coming from Holy Cross, batted .312 this past season. And here's his 0-1 pitch. That one down low. Evens things up at a ball and a strike.
It's very early in this game as well, and we mentioned the game last night for Falmouth. They were down twice, 6-1 early in that one, and 9-4, and ended up squeaking out the tie 9-9. So they never quit, and it showed last night.
Maisel is going to foul this one out down the third base line. Watch out over there down the left field. Maisel batting .444 this season for the Commodores. Again, the only unbeaten team so far in the Cape League. Very early season, though, at 2 wins, 0 losses, and 1 tie coming last night. Cusick now up 1-2. Kicks and fires. That one misses inside and gets past Gazzo behind the plate.
Maisel has had a solid career at Holy Cross. .290 batting average his freshman season, raising that to .322 and then keeping it consistent at .312 in his junior year. So a very consistent .300 batter in Austin Maisel.
Here's the 2-2 to Maisel. Going to be a ground ball over there for Warren at third base. He gets shovels and throws onto first base in time for out number 1.
Routine ground out for Xavier Warren over at third, the player that just homered for Bourne in the last half inning. An easy ground ball and is able to collect it. A couple shuffles over to first and fires it in for the first out.
Maddox Hahn now for the Commodores. Steps in with 1 away. Out of Lipscomb University, batted .342 this past season. Played in the Prospect League last summer. Batted .277 there. He gets his first pitch from Cusick. That's in the zone, off speed for strike 1. Oh, one. It's going to be a ground ball, hard ground ball, that is, to Curtis over there at first base. He takes it himself, and it's an easy out number 2.
A hard hit ball. We've seen a few of those over to first base here, and Curtis is right there. Easy. Fields it easily and just runs over to first. Calls off Cusick over at the pitcher's mound for the second out. 2 routine ground balls for this Bourne defense. I like what I see from Cusick so far.
Now it's back at the top of the order. Hayden Cantrell for the Commodores. He's 0 for 1, struck out swinging his first time up. And here's first pitch. That one is up and in for ball 1.
Cantrell in the last game, 9-9 tie. He contributed 2 of those runs with 2 hits, 2 RBIs, scoring 3 runs, striking out twice in that game.
He's batting .400 on the early Cape League season. Here, Cusick taking his time, and now finally delivers the 1-0. Off speed down the middle for strike 1. And it looks like the Commodore is already looking at possibly working somebody in the bullpen, as it looks like. Pitcher and catcher heading over there. 1 ball and 1 strike. That's another off speed in the zone for strike 2.
2 beautiful breaking balls off the hand of Cusick, curving right into the zone. Cantrell is completely fooled right now. I wouldn't be surprised if Cusick goes to that fastball up 1-2.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. It's going to be a ground ball to second base. Mckenzie charging in on it. He's got it. Throw over to first base. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Cusick. And now the Braves can go bat once again. No runs, no hits, and obviously nobody left on base. We head to the top of the 4th. Still 3-0 Braves. And you're listening to it on the Braves Baseball Network. Brendan Rivoli leads things off for the Braves here in the top of the 4th inning, looking for his first hit of the Cape League season so far. And after that 3rd inning, Sam, now would be a great time to get it.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen that this Bourne lineup through the first 3 innings has certainly gotten to Gonzalez with that big 3-run inning in the top of the 3rd. They figured him out, and they finally figured out a pitcher here in the 3rd game of the season, and Rivoli certainly has an upper hand in this matchup.
First pitch to Rivoli, bounces in the other batter's box for ball 1. And here's the 1-0 from Gonzalez off speed. Same location, though. 2-0 now the count.
We brought it up a few times, but these games are so important, especially early in the season. To get a good start, 0-2 is certainly not the way you want to go in a 44-game season.
2-0 pitch, caught Rivoli in on the hands. It's a ground ball over to third base. Moretto's got it, and he throws on to first in time for out number 1.
And Gonzalez saved that at bat, and he was down in the count 2-0 and jammed Rivoli, got him to swing at it, and sent a short ground ball over to third, a routine out. There's 1 up, 1 down.
Jake Mckenzie now steps in for the Braves. He's 0 for 1. He popped out to shortstop last time up. First pitch to Mckenzie. Breaking ball in the zone for strike 1. And Gonzalez working fast. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fouled straight back. Now the count grows to 0-2.
Pretty big week for the Falmouth Commodores. Back on Sunday, they had one of their former alumni, Connor Gillespie, named to the Cape Cod Baseball League Hall of Fame. Oh.
Watch out. Foul ball there. Takes the mask off of Michael Turner there behind the plate. Hope everybody's okay there.
I've never seen the mask come off of a catcher before. On a foul ball right to him.
I'll tell you what, Sam, you do baseball every single day. You're bound to see something new almost every single time you come out to the park. One of the great things about the game. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball. Mckenzie adjusts. It's a pop-up into shallow center field. Wind blowing out there, and it falls in no man's land, and it's a 2-strike hit for Jake Mckenzie.
Well, that's the second ball we've seen exactly like that, falling right behind the shortstop and the center fielder. This time it was more toward the left side of the ballpark, but the same exact thing. And Mckenzie, who got jammed on that pitch, got a little bit lucky as it fell right in between left field, center field, and short. He's on with a single.
He is on with a single, and we're talking about is up to 20-mile-an-hour winds right now blowing in the outfield, maybe bringing that one back in. Paul Gazzo now batting for the Braves, struck out his first time. Here's the first pitch to Gazzo. That one way outside for ball 1. I believe over in the bullpen right now for the Commodores is Stephen Casey out of FIU. He's getting loose over there. Here's the 1-0. That one bounces. Turner does a nice job keeping it in front of him to prevent Mckenzie from advancing to second. 2-0 now the count.
Through the first few games, we haven't seen a starting pitcher go over 5 innings. Mlodzinski for Falmouth last night went 4 1/3. Ended up throwing 5 more arms after him.
Here's a 2-0 pitch. That one just misses low. 3-0 now the count to Gazzo. Mckenzie is the runner at first after his single. Here's a 3-0 pitch. That one is in the zone for strike 1.
Gazzo's all take there, especially with a strikeout earlier in this game. 3-0 pitch, easily taking that ball right down the middle.
Let's see if he gets his pitch in his spot here. 3-1. Here's the pitch. There goes Mckenzie. Turner with a throw down, and Mckenzie steals second. Throw leaks into center field, and he's coming to third, and he's going to get there with a slide. Mckenzie steals second and then takes third on the bad throw.
All popping out of the squat from behind the plate, Michael Turner, and the throw was a little low, skipped behind second base. Mckenzie coming over to third, stumbled a little bit in the base pass between second and third, but was able to collect himself and get over to third base with a go-ahead run 90 feet away, and Gazzo still in the at-bat 3-2.
And that is going to be ruled as an error on Turner. The 3-2 pitch is a ball, maybe intentionally to force the double play opportunity. A walk, nonetheless, though, for Gazzo, and it's first and third for the Braves.
And when you're at 3-2 and first base is open with 1 out and a run possibly 90 feet away. It was a smart move from Gonzalez on that 3-2 pitch to give him a ball and put a runner back on first base with a double play opportunity still in play.
Mckenzie on third, Gazzo on first, and it's Kyle Hess looking for his first RBI of the season. One away here in the third. This one's going to be popped up on the infield. Infield fly rule is not in effect yet. Cruz is able to make the catch, however, for out number 2.
Well, that's not what Hess was looking for at all. Anything into the outfield would have been good, especially a sacrifice fly possibly to get Mckenzie over from third. So now it's even tougher with 2 outs, but Xavier Warren in his last step out with a home run. We're going to have a mound visit coming from Falmouth, but a dangerous situation still with 2 outs. We saw last inning the Braves do all of their damage with 2 outs.
And Kyle Hess possibly might be tweaking the approach a little bit. So far in his 2 at-bats, swinging at the first pitch both times. You mentioned Xavier Warren now, as we're in the middle of this mound visit. The switch hitter out of Central Michigan. Perhaps they're talking about how exactly they want to face Warren after giving up the home run last time.
Warren started that rally, came up as the 3rd batter in the inning. The first 2 was Gazzo, who struck out before him, and Kyle Hess, who flew out. And Warren came up with 2 outs and put a 3-1 pitch behind the center field wall. He's looking to do exactly that with 2 runners on here and Bourne with a 3-0 lead. Looks like they're going to the pen.
Yes, they are. They're going to go to the bullpen. That is going to be the end of Chris Gonzalez's night. He is going to be held responsible for both the runners on base. And it looks like it is going to be number 17, Stephen Casey, coming into the game for the Commodore to try and work his team out of this 2-out jam.
Casey, a rising junior from FIU, 6'0", 181, a right-handed pitcher. In 2019, really struggled. A 9 even ERA, 0-run record, only pitched 12 innings with 7 walks and 5 strikeouts. His 2018 season was much better, 2.92 ERA with a 2-0 record, 2 saves through twice as many innings in his first season, 24 2/3 innings pitched with 12 walks and 32 strikeouts.
So the final line on Gonzalez, he pitched 3 2/3 inning, giving up 6 hits. And as it stands right now, 3 runs, all of them earned. But like I said, he is going to be responsible if Mckenzie and or Gazzo come around to score.
Well, I find this an interesting move for Falmouth. You have 2 outs in the inning, a runner on first and third. Xavier Warren, we know, is dangerous, but taking out Gonzalez, putting in a fresh arm, and Falmouth could possibly run into trouble with using a little too many arms. We mentioned that they used 6 arms in yesterday's 9-9 tie, and we'll see if Bourne can really break into that bullpen.
And how about the strategy here? You take out the lefty Gonzalez, you bring in the right-hander, and the problem is you're facing a switch hitter in Xavier Warren.
Yeah, exactly. He really hits it from all sides here. He can play anywhere in the field. He's also a switch hitter as well. So you look for Warren to possibly bat lefty with a right-handed pitcher coming up. Certainly an interesting at-bat for Bourne to try and capitalize on this 3-0 lead.
And it looks like the runners heading back to their spots here. And we're about to get ready back into the game here. 3-0 lead for the Braves over Falmouth. Thanks to a big third inning, and it was all started by this man, Xavier Warren, with his solo shot to straightaway center field, and has the opportunity to gain himself a couple more RBIs with a base hit here with 2 away in the top of the 4th. And it's going to be interesting to see how Warren will see what his approach is, because as a leadoff hitter, new arm, you have to kind of weigh between going aggressive, seeing the first pitch, and maybe taking a couple pitches, seeing what it is Casey has to offer. We'll all find out right now. Here's the first pitch to Warren. That one just misses outside, possibly up as well for ball 1.
If I'm Warren, I'm trying to see as many pitches as I can before I strike, especially with a new pitcher. He's fresh, a new arm for Falmouth. I try and work this one deep into the at-bat.
Here's the 1-0 from Casey. That one misses down low. 2 balls and no strike. Casey looks like in that warm-up had some trouble controlling himself a little bit, especially on the off-speed pitches. Spiked a couple of them, one getting back all the way to the backstop. Casey sets, hands meet at the chest. Here's the 2-0. It's going to be fouled right almost over our heads. Caught by the fence here, and we're at 2-1 now.
Warren saw one he liked, 2-0 count. Still a good hitter's count for him. He homered on a 3-1 count back in the last inning, so he's going to try and work this one a little bit.
2 balls and 1 strike. The count to Xavier Warren. Here's the pitch from Casey. This one is going to be fouled down the left field line, out of play, up over onto the hill there. And it's going to even things up at 2-2.
For Casey, it's important to not make a mistake here, especially with the power that Warren has. 2-2 pitch. You can strike him out, still have a ball to throw as well in the at-bat.
Looks like we have a little cloud coverage. Wind picking up just a tad bit. Here is the 2-2 to Warren. That one is going to be fouled over our heads, and we'll do things again here at 2-2.
Casey, this is the second game he's appeared in, pitched 2 innings earlier in the season, allowing 2 hits, 1 walk and 1 strikeout.
Casey taking his time. Comes set. Kicks and fires a 2-2 pitch. That one up too high. Turner tried to frame it down below the letters, but it's up too high. Ball 3. Gazzo will be running on the pitch here. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners on the corners here for the Braves. Up 3-0 against Falmouth here in the top of the 4th inning. There goes Gazzo. The 3-2 pitch is going to be a fly ball into center field. Back goes Dunn. He turns around. He looks at it, and it's just one hops off the wall. Gazzo is going to score from first base along with Mckenzie, who already scored. And it's a 2-out, 2 RBI double for Xavier Warren.
What a big game for Xavier Warren so far. Another 2 RBIs. He already has 3, and we're only in the 4th inning. He took another ball over in the center field direction. That time it was 3-2. Saw the pitch he liked. He worked well in the at-bat. He saw some pitches and finally pulled the trigger on the 3-2 pitch. Another solid hit for Xavier Warren, and this Braves offense is rolling.
5-0 our score. Braves on top, and up steps Alika Williams. His first pitch, that one's in the dirt for ball 1. Williams is 1 for 2. It should be 2 for 2, rather. 2 singles. Another one sure would be nice here. It would most likely score Warren over there from second base.
All 5 runs have come with 2 outs.
And this one's going to be a fly ball into left field. Maisel almost wrist-mid it for a second. He's able to collect it, though, for outs number 3. But Xavier Warren with another 2-out double gives the Braves some insurance runs. It's 5-0 as we head into the bottom of the 4th. Braves on top here on the Braves Baseball Network. 5 runs in 2 innings has been the story so far tonight. The Braves on top 5-0 over the Commodores. 2, 3, 4 spots due up for Falmouth this inning, starting off with Trey Cruz. And Sam, you and I were talking. We've seen him in practice. Xavier Warren has just felt like we all knew he was going to be good, and it finally showcased here tonight.
Yeah, this was certainly coming. He struggled in the first game against Orleans, went over 3, but got an off day in the second game, comes out here in this third game, and he's battling for that starting third base spot.
Trey Cruz gets a first pitch, and it is a diving stop. They're going to say he did not catch it. Rivoli trapped it, apparently, and it's going to allow Cruz to advance to second base. Rivoli certainly thought he caught it. He's still down on one knee, but it's going to be a leadoff double nonetheless there for Falmouth.
Well, and it certainly didn't help that Rivoli, after he supposedly didn't catch it, trapped that ball and got up and didn't immediately throw it. Cruz could have been possibly held up over at first if he wouldn't have hesitated. And you could hear the Bourne dugout all yelling toward left field for Rivoli to get it out of his hands and just get it toward the infield, but Cruz is able to start out this inning with a double.
Third base umpire Joe Caraco on the call. And you have to think the reason Rivoli was so slow in getting up is that he believed without a doubt that he caught it.
It was certainly close to see, but in that situation, you know the call. You saw him going safe. You have to get the ball out of your hand and then back into the infield.
Now Cusick being made to work here in this bottom of the fourth inning. First pitch to Langworthy, misses low for ball 1.
And that's certainly how the Commodores want to start off this inning. You can't make up 5 runs all at once, but with a double already putting a runner in scoring position, they're threatening here in the fourth.
Cusick sets. Takes a peek at second and now fires the 1-0. That one misses low as well. 2-0 now the count. Another long inning for Cusick to sit in the dugout and wait. Needs to fire here a good pitch. Do not want to go down 3-0 to Austin Langworthy. Here is the pitch. That one in the dirt for ball 3.
Through the first time around, Cusick was able to deal pretty well through these 3, 4, and 5 hitters. Langworthy in his last at-bat grounded out to first, and Radcliffe and Moretto in the 4 and 5 spots both struck out. So we'll see if Cusick can continue the success through the meat of this lineup.
Langworthy batting .333 so far on the season. And you might think maybe an intentional walk here. Definitely don't want to think about it maybe with the cleanup man on deck, but 3-0, definitely do not want to make a mistake.
Yeah, it's a tough part of the lineup to put runners on, that's for sure.
Cusick comes set, now fires a 3-0 pitch. That one misses outside, and it's going to be a walk, and Paul Gazzo is going to call time and go talk to his pitcher.
Falmouth putting runners on first and second with their number 4 hitter, Baron Radcliffe, who struck out in his first at-bat, coming up. A dangerous situation. And Cusick hasn't seen this pressure throughout the game. This is the first time he's really been tested. But certainly hoping for play ball in this circumstance.
Yeah, he took the words right out of my mouth. How big would a ground ball be right here for Ryan Cusick and the rest of the Braves?
It would be huge to get out of this inning with runners on first and second, getting the first 2 outs early. And Bourne, we've seen how they've performed with 2 outs, but Falmouth, not the kind of offensive production they've seen in the first part of the season here in this game.
Baron Radcliffe steps in for the Commodores, batting cleanup 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Here's his first pitch. Ground ball to second base. There's the double play ball. Mckenzie flips to Williams. Williams on the first. In time. It's a 4-6-3 double play.
Well, that couldn't have gone more perfectly. The very first pitch of the at-bat. Easy ground ball over to second base. A nice flip to short. The throw to first. Pretty routine double play. And just like that, there's 2 outs. Runner gets over to third, but no sacrifice fly opportunity either.
Right. Cruz does advance to third on the play, and it's going to be left for Steven Moretto, the third baseman, 0 for 1 with a strikeout. So far, the best chance that Falmouth has had at scoring a run so far here tonight. First pitch to Moretto. That one misses outside for ball 1. And what an outstanding job by Cusick. You mentioned it. Couldn't ask for anything else. First pitch is the most routine double play ball I've seen in a while. Here's the 1-0 to Moretto. That one fouled straight back into the backstop, and it evens things up at a ball on a strike.
Yeah, you like what you see from Cusick. No Bourne starter has gone over 5 innings here in this season. We can certainly see Cusick possibly go a little more. Can't really tell if anybody, doesn't look like anybody's warming up in the Bourne bullpen. So manager Harvey Shapiro certainly trusts Cusick here.
Here's the 1-1 to Moretto. That one misses up high, ball 2.
And there is still a runner on third, so Cusick has to be feeling a little bit of pressure. Any sort of hit is going to get Cruz home from third. But with a 5-run cushion, I can't imagine Bourne's too worried about that right now.
Here's a 2-1 pitch to Moretto. That one just misses a little bit low. 3 balls and 1 strike. First base is open, and you have to think here a walk doesn't necessarily kill you. I think you'd much rather take the walk than possibly making a mistake and giving up the 2-run bomb.
Well, it doesn't kill you, but Turner coming up already has a double in this game, so he's seen success from Cusick so far. One of only 2 hits.
Here's the 3-1 pitch to Moretto. This one is going to be a fly ball right center field. Back on it is Burleson. It's going to find the gap, and it's over Burleson's glove. He leapt for it, could not pull it in, and it's a 2-out double, scoring a run for the Commodores.
Well, the 2-out hitting has proved to be the difference now for both teams, as there's a nice 2-out double from Steven Moretto right to right center field. Burleson had no real chance at it, tried to jump up and get it in the glove, but it got all the way to the wall. And a solid hit from Steven Moretto puts Falmouth on the board, and Harvey Shapiro is going to go meet with Cusick on the mound.
And I think they might be taking Cusick out of this game. It depends here. There was a player warming up for the Braves, and it looks like they are going to be making a pitching change. It is going to be number 26, making his first appearance so far this season, J.P. Woodward. Woodward is another tall lefty from Lafayette, led his team with a 4.78 ERA in 2018. But talk about the start here for Ryan Cusick in his first ever game here in this league.
Cusick does pretty well through 3 2/3 innings as he's taken out here in the 4th. You hear the Bourne fans cheering, allowing 3 hits in the outing. Just 1 run so far with a runner over at second now. But Woodward has to get out of this inning to put Bourne back on the offensive side.
So right now the line looking for Cusick is 3 2/3 innings pitched, giving up 3 hits, 3 strikeouts as well. He's surrendered 1 run, but is responsible for Moretto, the runner over at second base.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that Cusick was taken out this early. I thought he'd go a little bit longer, and it turns out he's the fastest starter to be taken out of the game for manager Harvey Shapiro.
J.P. Woodward's numbers from Lafayette this past season, 5-7 with a 5.9 ERA and just about 70 innings pitched in 12 games, all of which he started through 29 walks, 69 strikeouts, and opposing batters were hitting .273 off him. So a little unusual here for Woodward coming out of the bullpen.
Yeah, certainly, but he's got a nice cushion with a 5-1 lead, a runner over at first with already 2 outs. Michael Turner coming up, who already doubled in the 2nd inning. He was able to have success over Cusick, now facing J.P. Woodward for the first time as Woodward throws a few warm-up pitches. But like I've been mentioning, it's still very early in this game. Falmouth came down from 2 pretty big deficits last night to work out that tie. So Bourne's feeling good from what they've done so far, but it's certainly nowhere near close being over.
Yeah, exactly. This game has a long way from being over, only in the 4th inning. Michael Turner is now stepping in for the Commodores. Moretto, the runner at second base. And we are ready to get started. Woodward facing the lefty Turner. Batting .091 so far this Cape season. Had a double earlier in tonight's game down the left field line. And he gets his first pitch. He squares to bunt. It's in the dirt for ball 1. I'll tell you what, Sam, a bunt from Michael Turner, the catcher, probably was the last thing anybody was expecting on that first pitch.
Yeah, absolutely. He doesn't have too much speed, and if he can possibly beat that out, it would get Moretto over to third. But especially with 2 outs.
Warren playing a little bit back. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It's going to be a fly ball into center field. It looks like it's going to drop, and it does. Here comes Moretto from third. He is going to score, and it's a 2-out single and an RBI for Michael Turner.
Turner having himself a game so far. He's 2 for 2 with a double and now an RBI single. Gets Moretto all the way home. That run will be charged over on Cusick. So make that 2 earned runs for him. But Woodward not really getting the chance to get Turner out as he was all over that pitch and sent it to center field. An easy single for him. And Falmouth climbs back. They're now down 3.
Blake Dunn now steps in, and he takes a first pitch ball down and away. He's 0 for 1. Flew out to right his first time up. Woodward now kicks and fires. Swung and missed on a pitch near the dirt there. 1-1 now the count.
He wants to get out of this inning. He's already suffered a run. Coming in with a runner on second is tough.
Yep.
Already gave up a single to Turner.
Dunn. His 1-1 pitch is off speed and misses outside. 2-1 now the count. Woodward comes set. Hands meet at the chin. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Off speed. That's in the zone for strike 2. And it evens things up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
This will be a big 2-2 count. Woodward's in control with this at bat. Dunn's not done with him just yet.
Big pitch here. Here's the 2-2. Fouled straight back into the backstop, and we'll do things one more time.
And when you fell it right back to the backstop, you're right on it. So we'll see if Woodward changes it up a little bit here on this 2-2 pitch. With 2 outs, runner still at first.
We have got ourselves a ball game here tonight, folks. 5-2 our score. Here's the pitch, and that one's in the dirt. Gazzo does a great job keeping it in front and keeps Turner at first base.
Yeah, solid job from Gazzo. Was able to pop out of the squat, have that ball bounce right on his chest, stays in front of him, so Turner stays over at first and doesn't get into scoring position.
Two runs so far scored this inning. Here's the 2-2 pitch, or 3-2 rather, and it's going to miss down and in for ball 4, putting runners now on first and second.
Well, tough for Woodward. His 2 players he's faced, a single in his first player he faced in Michael Turner, and now a walk given up for Dunn. Runners on first and second. You have Maisel coming up. A tough situation for Woodward here with 2 outs.
Yeah, Maisel 0 for 1, grounded out to Warren over at third base, and Woodward gets a much-needed first pitch strike.
Maisel with Falmouth last year went 3 for 21 with 1 RBI.
Getting a lot more playing time here. This breaking ball misses inside for ball 1. So far this season, Maisel coming into tonight, batting .444 throughout his first 3 games of this Cape season. Here's the 1-1. That one outside. Count grows to 2-1 now. Woodward sets. And here comes the 2-1 from the lefty. That one misses outside again. And just like that, we have 3 balls and a strike.
And Woodward now digging himself into a hole with a great hitter's count for Maisel. Runners at first and second. Falmouth really threatening here in the bottom half of the 4th.
Here's a 3-1 to Maisel. This one fouled down the first base line. Is going to fill up the count. And the runners will be going here on the 3-2 count.
Maisel was coming off a great performance last night, went 3 for 4 with 1 walk, so he got on every single time he came up to bat, scored a run as well, so he's feeling momentum. We'll see if he can turn that into a hit in this at-bat.
Wind kicks up here at the Gov. 3-2. There go the runners. It's a foul ball here.
It came back and hit his foot. He's definitely in pain. Is able to get up from it, but you see him limping. I think that foul ball came right off the bat and right down into the foot.
Yeah, he is shaken up, and it's something that you never want to see is a player go down.
That's a pretty typical contact you see. You see it all the time in the majors with those balls that come in, hit the bottom part of the bat, and go right toward the player's feet. And that one just got him on a 3-2 pitch. Fouls it off, so he stays in the at-bat. We'll see if he returns. They'll let him walk it off. Hear an applause from the fans as well.
Yeah, definitely deserves it. Never a fun spot to foul a ball off yourself. And he's put the batting gloves back on, re-gripped it, and he's looked like he's getting ready to go here once again at 3-2.
Yeah, we'll see what Woodward gives him. He's struggled through the first two batters he's faced, a single allowed and a walk allowed as well. So it would be huge for Woodward to get out of this one.
Hazel taking his time, and now we're ready to go. Woodward sets, and now here's the 3-2 pitch. That's in the dirt for ball 4, and the bases are loaded here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Oh, that pitch was nowhere near being a strike from Woodward. 3-2. You don't want to give up a hit there. That'll get a run in, but now time being called. Woodward struggling in his first appearance this season. Falmouth loads up the bases. Maddox Houghton coming up. Grounded out to first in his first at-bat, but this isn't really a situation where Falmouth is getting some solid hits off Woodward. They're just working deep in the counts, and Woodward throwing 2 walks there, loads up the bases with runners at first, second, and third. Falmouth with a chance to come back from this 3-run deficit now. Already 2 runs home in the inning.
Yeah, and this is pretty atypical for Woodward with Lafayette. Only threw 29 walks. And he threw about 68 2/3 innings. So you're looking at more or less 1 walk every 3 or so innings.
There's an arm warming up in the Bourne bullpen as well.
Yeah, he serves 2 walks up back to back. Here it's been a 2-run bottom of the 4th inning for the Braves. Excuse me, for the Commodores, rather, given up by the Braves. A double by Trey Cruz, later scored by a double by Steven Moretto as Woodward fires in strike 1 to Maddox Houghton. Michael Turner singled, and that later scored Moretto as well. And now he finds himself on third. Blake Dunn, the runner, on second via a couple walks. And Austin Mazel, who just walked, stands on first base. All the walks are forgiven, though, Sam, if Woodward is able to get himself out of this jam. Here's the 0-1 to Houghton. That one up and away, ball 1.
Yeah, he's just been missing the zone. With his pitches, would be very important for him to get an out, not allow the Commodores back into this game. It was a 5-0 lead for Bourne coming into this bottom of the 4th inning. And this has been really against the grain from what we've seen from Bourne.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. That one tipped into the glove of Gazzo, and it's a very big 1-ball-and-2-strike count here for J.P. Woodward and the Braves. Woodward looking in. Houghton digging in. The kick and the 1-2 pitch right down the middle. Strike 3. He got himself out of it. Woodward stops the bleeding. The Braves only give up 2 runs, and we head into the top of the 5th, still with the Bravos up by 3 runs. You're watching it here on the Bourne Braves YouTube channel. 3, 4, 5 spots lead off the Braves here in the top of the 5th inning as we are rolling through the middle of the game. Casey still the pitcher for the Commodores, and he's got himself a test going up against Alec Burleson. 1 for 2 with a fielder's choice and an RBI single his last time up.
Yeah, the meat of the lineup for this Bourne Braves team that's been having success for the first time this season in the 3rd game of the young season. The bats are finally coming alive, and they're looking for more insurance here in this top half of the 5th.
First pitch to Burleson misses down low, ball 1.
Falmouth inching closer in the bottom of the 4th inning, getting 2 of those runs back, which was a 5-0 deficit, is now 5-2.
Big swing and a miss there from Burleson. 1 ball, 1 strike, now the count. Burleson playing his first game this evening, coming from East Carolina. Team just recently eliminated in the Super Regional via Louisville, and that one pitch is a breaking ball in there for strike 2.
Yeah, Braves still waiting on a few players in the College World Series.
1-2. Here's the pitch to Burleson. He ropes it down the right field line. It's going to be extra bases for Burleson. He rounds first, and there he goes to second, and he is going to be in there standing up. It's a leadoff double for the Braves.
What a debut Alec Burleson is having for the Braves. That's his 2nd hit of the evening, already 1 RBI. And the Braves start out this inning with a runner on second with the 4, 5, and 6 batters coming up. They've been looking for this performance for 2 games. And finally, the bats really coming alive here in the middle of the game.
Yeah, Sam and I, you both knew that it was only a matter of time before the bats finally started warming up, and they definitely are here tonight. A.J. Curtis now for the Braves. 1 for 2 with the fielder's choice and an RBI single his last time. Takes a ball just a little bit high. 1-0 now the count.
Burleson pulled that ball right down the line, too. It was barely fair and a very hard-hit ball all the way to the wall, allowed him to get over to second.
Here is the 1-0 to A.J. Curtis. That one's going to be a fly ball into right field. Burleson is tagging. The catch is made by Houghton, and Burleson will stay put over at second base, 1 away.
That's exactly what on the mound Stephen Casey wanted out of A.J. Curtis, a shallow fly ball. Doesn't allow Burleson to get over to third, but now you bring up Glowenke, who struggled today so far, 0 for 2, but saw him get that RBI double in Wednesday's game. So looking to bring home Burleson from second here in this at-bat, lengthening that lead a little bit more.
Yeah, Jimmy Glowenke, like you mentioned, Sam, 0 for 2. Flew out his first time to left field and struck out looking on 3 pitches his last time up. Feels like he's due for a base hit here. Here's the first pitch. That one misses outside, ball 1. Burleson, the runner on second. Here, the Braves up 5-2 over Falmouth. And this top of the 5th inning, the Braves offense exploded so far in this one. After scoring 1 run in both their games earlier, have set 5 runs here tonight. Glowenke pops this one up. It's going to be shallow center field, that Bermuda Triangle, and it is going to be caught by the center fielder, Dunn, for out number 2.
Oh, that time they figured it out. You call it the Bermuda Triangle. It's came back and stung Falmouth twice here today. It's really fallen in between that shallow center field area, more on the left, a little behind the shortstop position. That one was more straightaway center, but they figure it out, and coming from center was Blake Dunn. Had to travel a long ways to be able to put that ball out, but there's 2 quick outs. That's exactly what Stephen Casey was looking for on the mound.
Brendan Rivoli, 0 for 2 so far tonight, steps in, couple ground outs. Looking for his first hit of the season. He gets his first pitch from Casey. That one misses up and away, ball 1. There are a lot of games played in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Like Sam mentioned, every single one of these games matter. Every single win will eventually come back. Win or loss will eventually come back to Hodge. Here's the 1-0 misses inside for ball 2. And it would be huge here for the Braves to get themselves in the record books, in the win column for the first time here tonight, Sam.
Yeah, absolutely. Starting off the season 0-2 in a pretty short 44-game season is not the way you want to start out with, but getting back on track after a few rainouts with a win here would be big for the Braves.
2-0 pitch is grounded over to second base. Cantrell scoops it up, throws on to first base, and he beats Rivoli by a step, and Casey works himself out of that leadoff double. It is no runs off of the one hit, the Burleson double, nobody scoring, and that's 1-1. That one person left on base. We head into the bottom of the fifth inning, still our score 5-2 here on the Braves, the Baseball Network. Welcome back to Bourne Braves Baseball here on the Braves YouTube channel. 5-2 our score here in this one. The Braves on top of the Commodores, and the Braves making a pitching change. Sam Wiederhaft. It is Sean Harney on the hill for the Braves.
After that bottom of the fourth inning, J.P. Woodward struggled a little bit coming into that situation with 2 outs. They turn to the right-handed pitcher from UMass, Sean Harney, 6'0", 185-pound player from Natick, Massachusetts, a local kid. It was the A-10 all-rookie team during his freshman season in 2018. His 2019 season didn't see the same success, a 3-win, 5-loss record for the UMass Minutemen, a 3.27 ERA, pitching an even 66 innings pitched, 48 strikeouts, 33 walks. He comes in relief, the third pitcher seen for this Bourne Braves team here in the bottom of the fifth. His team up 5-2, but Jordan, we know this Falmouth team is never out of it, and certainly we saw that in the bottom of the fourth inning.
Yeah, and we saw that last night as well, being down by as many as 5 runs at one point like they were here earlier tonight, and it's going to be the top of the order here for the Commodores. Leading off is Hayden Cantrell.
And Hardy will have to face the 1-2-3 batters in this Falmouth lineup to start off his appearance.
First pitch to Cantrell is going to be fouled right over our heads for strike one.
Cantrell's 0 for 2. He struck out in the first inning against Ryan Cusick, the starter for the Braves.
And he grounded out his second time to Jake Mckenzie. This one's going to be a fly ball to shallow center field. Kyle Hess is under it, and he very easily puts it away for out number 1.
Braves need a big shutout inning from Sean Harney. We saw J.P. Woodward struggle. He came in with 2 outs after Cusick allowed the first run of the game for Falmouth, and Woodward walked a few, loaded up the bases, was able to get out of it, only allowing 2 runs in the inning.
Trey Cruz now for the Commodores. He is 1 for 2, doubled and later scored his last time up. He takes ball 1 in the dirt. As everybody resets now, Harney steps, kicks, and fires the 1-0 pitch. That one's fouled straight into the backstop. Evens things up at a ball and a strike.
Some other scores around the Cape. We already have one final. Wareham over Hyannis, 12-5. That start time was 1:58 p.m., a Saturday afternoon ball game. Cotuit over Harwich right now. That game in the top of the 8th. It's a 7-3 Cotuit lead.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's lined into left field, and Rivoli once again catches it on the trap. Same thing that happened the last time with Trey Cruz up at the plate. This time he stays put at first base. That's a 1-out single.
Yeah, that's 2 balls hit over to Rivoli at left field coming off the bat of Trey Cruz, who's gone opposite field both times. It's bounced right in front of Rivoli the first time he dove for it, and Cruz was able to get over to second. That time, Rivoli playing it off a very short hop, holds Cruz over at first, but 2 of the exact same thing.
Now it's Austin Langworthy for the Commodores. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. Grounds it out his first time. First pitch is in the zone, strike 1.
Brewster with a 1-0 lead over Orleans. Brewster with a pretty powerful offense over there. And YD over Chatham. That game's at 1-0 in the bottom of the second. Brewster's in the top of the third.
We'll be seeing Orleans tomorrow for a doubleheader at Doran Park. 0-1 pitch is in the zone for strike 2, and Harney's worked himself into a very fast 0-2 lead.
Yeah, important here, especially with the number 3 batter who's gotten on base twice today. Runner on first as well.
No balls and 2 strikes. Here is the pitch to Langworthy. Swung on and missed, strike 3. It's a 3-pitch strikeout. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Austin Langworthy.
Sean Harney retires the number 3 batter in this lineup. Now you bring up Baron Radcliffe, who's 0 for 2, a strikeout in the second, and a very important double play back in the last inning. The 4th comes up with a runner on. He can do damage. But with 2 outs, Falmouth scored all their runs with 2 outs. So Harney has to stay locked in.
Yeah, and so have the Braves. All 7 runs been scored here tonight with 2 outs. First pitch to Radcliffe, way inside. Had to bow out for that one. 1-0. Mentioned 0 for 2. Struck out and grounded into that double play back in the 4th inning. Harney sets, hands at the chest, throws over to first base. And Cantrell back in plenty of time.
Now wind is really starting to pick up and blowing more toward right center field. With the lefty Radcliffe up right now, it could certainly play to his advantage.
1-0 pitch is in the zone for strike 1. 1-1 now the count. Falmouth have an arm working over there in their bullpen as well.
Falmouth threw 6 pitchers last night. When you have a stretch of games almost every day, it's tough to keep pitchers fresh, especially with not everybody here. Both teams with players in the College World Series.
1-1 pitch misses up. Count now 2-1. The same could be said for the Braves as well. Due to those couple rainouts, their next scheduled day off is not for almost a week and a half, June 27th. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch to Radcliffe. There goes the runner. The throw over to second base from Gazzo. Not in time. No, it is in time. It looked like it wouldn't be in time. He threw out Cantrell. It's another caught stealing for the Braves, and that is going to wrap up the inning. No runs on 1 hit. Nobody left on, and we head into the top of the 6th. 5-2, still with the Braves. 7, 8, 9 spots due up here for the Braves in this top half of the 6th inning, and it's going to be started off with Jake Mckenzie. Mckenzie 1 for 2, popped out his first time. He singled and later scored, thanks in part to a stolen base and a throwing error from the catcher Michael Turner. And now he gets his chance here in the top of the 6th, going up against Casey.
And we talk about how much this Bourne hitting struggled in the first 2 games.
As there, it looked like Mckenzie there going to drop down the bunt. Missed it, though, however. It's going to be a strike 1.
They had 7 hits through the first 2 games this season. Tonight they have 8, so they've really gotten to the Falmouth pitchers in this game so far.
Here's the 0-1. Hit hard into left center field. Dunn is back on it, though. Read it well, and it's an easy out, number 1.
Yeah, second pitch the at-bat from Mckenzie after squaring around a bunt. The lefty swings away at that 0-1 pitch and just got a little too much in the air.
Paul Gazzo now for the Braves. He is 0 for 1. He struck out and walked his last time. Later came around to score as well. First pitch to Gazzo. Breaking ball that misses too high. Ball 1. In the 3 games, we've seen 3 different catchers behind the dish for the Braves. Gazzo getting his turnaround, and he's made the most of it so far. First, the 1-0 pitch just misses the zone. Not sure where that one missed, but it is a ball. 2-0 now the count.
Early in the season, Harvey Shapiro is still trying to figure out who's best at which positions and who he can really rely on to have a consistent starting field and starting lineup. That's why we're seeing so much rotation.
Here is the 2-0 to Gazzo. Ground ball foul down the third base line, and the count now 2 balls and 1 strike. Stephen Casey working through the order here. And he delivers the 2-1 to Gazzo. That one is going to be fair down the third base line. It'll be extra bases for Paul Gazzo. And watch out, it is almost touched by a fan. And it's going to be fan interference there. A young child down the third base line, down the left field line, got in the middle of the play. And it looks like Gazzo is going to get second base on it.
Yeah, he should. That was going to be a double anyways. Gazzo, we talk about, he's the 3rd starting catcher in 3 games. He's the first catcher to get a hit here for the Braves. Gazzo ropes that ball right down the third base line, and with 1 out, he's at second. You have Hess coming up, and then right back is Xavier Warren.
Kyle Hess 0 for 2. A fly out and a pop-up in his 2 at-bats as the wind once again is starting to pick up here. We said in excess speeds of 20 miles an hour here today in Falmouth. First pitch is a strike right down at the knees. Kyle Hess came into the game batting 1 for 6. Has a chance here for his first RBI with Gazzo, the runner, over at second base. Here's the 0-1. That one fouled over the screen. And now it's going to be 0-2.
And Hess finds himself behind in the count yet again, still looking for his second hit of the 2019 summer.
Casey now sets, hands meet at the letters. Takes a peek over there at Gazzo. Now kicks and fires the 0-2 that bounces about a foot before the plate. The count now 1-2.
And with Xavier Warren in the on-deck circle, you don't want to put another runner on the base pass for him to possibly knock in. 3 RBI games so far with a homer and a double.
Casey again takes a look at second. Now here's the 1-2 pitch. That's into zone, strike 3. Hess did not like the call. Thought it was inside, but it's a strikeout once again here for Kyle Hess.
And that's the first strikeout for a Braves player since the top of the 3rd inning, with Jimmy Glowenke striking out for the 3rd out there. So a trend we saw in the first 2 games has certainly been put to rest, as the Braves have been getting contact on a lot more balls, and time is called by Falmouth. Could be another pitching change, and it would be smart with Xavier Warren coming up.
And this is going to be perhaps the second pitching change, and it is going to be a pitching change. Both pitching changes made with Xavier Warren up at the plate, and with good reason, Sam.
Yeah, absolutely. We know the kind of power he's had in this game. He's been all over whatever Falmouth throws at him, a home run to center and a hard hit double in the center field area as well. So Falmouth will turn to another pitcher. And for them, it's going to be number 24, Hayden Rosencrantz from Washington State, 2019 at a 5.34 ERA. 8 starts for him in that season, 55 and 2/3 innings pitched, suffering 18 walks, striking out 41. The rising senior, a right-handed pitcher, 6'3", 190, comes into this game to face the most dangerous batter in this Braves lineup, Xavier Warren.
Yeah, and the final line for Stephen Casey, 2 innings pitch, only giving up 1 hit, no runs, no walks, and the lone strikeout. You have to really commend him on the job he did, really limiting this powerful in this game Braves offense.
Yeah, certainly came on after Chris Gonzalez, the starter, struggled in 3 2/3, striking out 3, giving up 6 hits and 5 earned runs, including that home run from Xavier Warren, his double as well. So we'll see if Hayden Rosencrantz can be the pitcher to figure out the leadoff batter for Bourne. But with runner at second, 2 outs, Warren will certainly be looking to extend that lead.
Warren 2 for 3, a home run, a double, and the lone strikeouts, the outlier in his first at-bat against Gonzalez. Gazzo is going back to second base, and we are set to get started. Warren, the switch hitter, will be batting out of the left-handed spot against the right-handed Rosencrantz. Here we go. Once again, Sam, here we go. 2 outs, runner in scoring position. Another opportunity to put a run up with 2 outs.
Yep, all 5 runs for the Braves, all coming with 2 outs.
Rosencrantz out of Wazoo, going up against Central Michigan's Xavier Warren. Rosencrantz sets, takes a peek at Gazzo. Nobody holding him, and here's the first pitch to Warren. That's at the knees for strike 1.
Rosencrantz going to try and attack him with the fastball. Already starting out with some heat right down the middle.
Rosencrantz taking his time in the stretch, and that's the catcher Turner calling time there. Warren steps back in, and let's do this here. 0-1, runner on second is Gazzo. 5-2 score. Braves on top of the Commodores. Here's the 0-1. That's going to be a fly ball into shallow left. It's going to get down for a base hit. Gazzo will come around third, and he's going to score easy. What a game from Xavier Warren at 6-2 Braves.
Well, out of the 6 runs, Xavier Warren has knocked in. Now make that 4 of them. An RBI single for him. Hey, he's a triple away from hitting for the cycle. What a game for Xavier Warren. And starting this second game, he started the opening night, didn't play in the second game, now plays here in this third game. You have to think he's going to be that starting third baseman moving forward.
It'd be almost impossible to take him out of the starting lineup. What a game, and let's not forget, he is pesky over on the base paths with Alec Williams now stepping up. Williams is 1 for 3. First pitch is outside for ball 1. Singled and later scored in the third. Also has a ground out and a fly out to his record as well. A little Pac-12 matchup here between Rosencrantz and the Sun Devil, Alec Williams. Rosencrantz sets. 1-0 is down on the way for ball 2. And Alec Williams is another one of those guys who, from what we've heard, Sam, is going to be trying out for Team USA here in the next couple of weeks. So the Braves will love to use as much of Alec as they can. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That one misses outside again. Turner tried to frame it up on the outside corner. Did not get the call, though. 3-0 the count.
Rosencrantz does not want to put another runner on with Burleson coming up. And Burleson's another player with 2 hits, including an RBI.
3-0 pitch. Alec Williams swinging. It's hit into right center field. Hunt is going over there. It's done, calling him off, and it is secured for the 3rd out. But the Braves, thanks to Xavier Warren, are able to get across another run here. It is 1 run on 2 hits, and 1 left on base. We head into the home half of the 6th inning. 6-2 Braves on top of Falmouth. Sean Harney still on the bump for the Braves, going up against 4, 5, 6 spots here in the bottom of the 6th inning. It's going to be started off with Baron Radcliffe. Baron Radcliffe was up last inning, his at-bat interrupted by Trey Cruz, who was caught stealing and thrown out at second base by Paul Gazzo. First pitch is up and in for ball 1 on Radcliffe.
For Radcliffe, he's looking for really anything in the zone that he can put in play to try and get on base. Falmouth down 4. They had a 2-run 4th inning, but really since that, the Braves relievers have silenced this lineup so far.
First pitch to Radcliffe, or excuse me, the 1-0 pitch to Radcliffe. Off speed in the zone for a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Here's the 1-1. That one misses down and out. Ball 2. Wind picking up here. A little bit of cloud coverage, chilling things out over here at Gov Fuller Field. Here's the 1-1 to Radcliffe. That one in the zone. That one looked up and in from here. Called the strike, though. 1-2 now the count.
Falmouth and Bourne, both in the West Division in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Falmouth finishing 3rd last season, securing a playoff spot, a 24-19-1 record.
2-2 pitch swung on and missed, and Harney gets himself a strikeout for out number 1 here in the inning.
That's 6 batters through this Falmouth lineup that have swung and missed with strikeouts as the Braves pitchers continue their success.
Steven Moreno now for the Commodore steps in. 1 for 2 as he fouls the first pitch off. Struck out his first time up, and he doubled and later scored and knocked in an RBI as well his second time in the 4th inning.
Last year, Falmouth went 2-4 against the Braves. In a season that had Braves the only losing record in the West Conference.
0-1 pitch is swung on and missed at a pitch in the dirt. Nice location there from Harney. 0-2 now the count. The West Division was stacked last season. All 4 teams above 500. If you put Bourne in the East Division, they are the 3 seed. With how the way those worked out last season. 0-2 is in the dirt again. Gazzo applies the tag, and it's 2 straight strikeouts for Harney here in the 6th.
What a beautiful start to the inning for Sean Harney. 2 swinging strikeouts for the first 2 batters. That brings up Michael Turner, who has had a game so far. 2 for 2, a double in the 2nd, and an RBI single in the 4th. And all runs that have been scored in this game have been with 2 outs. So Harney has to make sure he's dialed in, ready to get this batter out. This inning's not near over.
First pitch here to Turner is in the zone. Strike 1. Turner not agreeing with that one. Definitely thought it was outside. Wind picking up here at Gov Fuller Field, as it has been all night, and I'm sure is all across the Cape. Rain in the forecast here for the rest of the week. Here's the 0-1. That one just missed down. 1-1 on the counts. A little scary when you look at the forecast here locally. Rain in the projections here from Sunday to Friday.
Yeah, especially with the Braves already having 3 rainouts, those games having to be made up.
1-1 pitch is a fly ball into left center field. Hess is on it, and he makes the catch on the run. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Sean Harney, thanks in part to a couple of strikeouts. 1-2-3 go the Commodores, and we head into the top of the 7th. Braves still up 6-2, and you're watching it here on the Braves Baseball Network. The Braves up by 4 runs here as we head into the top of the 7th inning. 6-2 on top of the only undefeated team left in the entire baseball league here in the Cape Cod, the Falmouth Commodores. And it's going to be 3-4-5 for the Bravos here, letting off by Alec Burleson. And he's had himself a night as well, a single and a double. And he has been, if it weren't for Xavier Warren, Sam, the toughest out so far in the lineup.
Yeah, absolutely. Warren's had a little bit better of a game from Burleson, but Burleson's still doing well in the stats category, an RBI and 2 hits as well for him, including a double. So Burleson will start out this inning. But what a game, what a bounce-back game for the Braves after that slow start for their lineup. They're able to get 10 hits so far with still 3 innings to go. But Falmouth, they came back in yesterday's game to get the tie, so Bourne's still looking for some more insurance runs.
First pitch to Burleson is down and in, ball 1. Rosencrantz still on the bump for the Commodores. Burleson coming from East Carolina University. Takes a strike there, 1-1 now. Burleson, like Alika, is going to be trying out for Team USA here in the next couple weeks. So the Braves, especially with Burleson's power, will love to use him as much as they can. 1-1 is in the dirt, 2-1 now the count.
He played for an East Carolina team that went 47-18, 20-4 in their conference. Ended up losing out to Louisville in the Super Regional.
2-1 to Burleson. He thought about it, but it misses way up and out. 3-1 now the count. And I'll tell you what, you do not want to make a mistake to Alec Burleson down 3-1.
No, absolutely not. The last time his last at-bat took a double right down the right field line, pulled it. So I'm looking for that here.
3-1 pitch. Misses the zone, ball 4. It's a 5-pitch walk for Burleson, and the Braves already with a runner on.
The key to their success has been starting innings with runners on. They've had all of their runs with 2 outs, but that's because they've already established runners on base. Now with A.J. Curtis coming up, he already has an RBI single and an advantage with Burleson already at first.
A.J. Curtis, he is 1 for 3 so far tonight. Has an RBI single back in the 3rd inning. First pitch. That's called a strike. Probably caught the top of the strike zone there. 0-1 now the count. Curtis from Cal State Fullerton. Looking in at Rosencrantz. A little staggered set position. Throws the 0-1 pitch in the dirt. 1-1 now the count.
I don't expect anything else in this at-bat to be down to try and cause the double play ball.
Yeah, ground ball here is exactly what Falmouth is looking for. Here's the 1-1 to Curtis. It's going to be a line drive, base hit into right field. Burleson is going to stay put at second base. And the Braves in business here in this top of the 7th inning. A leadoff walk followed by a single.
That's a solid job from A.J. Curtis, who coming into this game was 1 for 7, now has 2 hits as he's started all 3 games at that first base spot, but he's still battling for that position as well and trying to make himself the number 1 guy. He was signed to this team pretty late, has been here for all 3 games, but what a big day for him.
Jimmy Glowinski now for the Braves, looking for his first hit tonight after coming into the game being the only RBI of the season. He's 0 for 3 with a couple flyouts and a strikeout. Again, want to avoid the double play here. Rosencrantz taking his time. A couple peeks over at Burleson. And we got time called, and Glowinski taking too long. Or thinks Rosencrantz, rather, taking too long. Resets, and now everybody's ready to go here. Runners on first and second. It's Burleson and Curtis. Braves up 6-2 on the Commodores. Here's the first pitch. Fouled back into the backstop. Strike 1.
Glowinski playing all season in the tough Missouri Valley Conference and a Dallas Baptist team that was at the top of the conference for most of the season. One of the top players in that conference as well.
Rosencrantz sets, hands meet at the belt. Here's the 0-1. It's going to be a fly ball. It's going to be fouled, but it looks like playable for Moretto, and he's able to corral it for the first out of the inning.
And Glewenke moves to 0 for 4 after having an RBI double in Wednesday's game. They've been able to figure him out today. And an important out there, too. It brings up the double play possibility to end the inning and doesn't advance the runners over to second and third either.
Brendan Rivoli now for the Braves, 0 for 3. All 3 ground outs. That'd be a tough break here for the Braves to get the first 2 runners aboard and have a possible double play, take it all away. First pitch to Rivoli. Fouled straight into the backstop. Barely missed that one. Strike 1, though.
These back 5 batters, out of the 10 hits, have only accounted for 2 of them for Bourne. So if anybody's been struggling, it's been the back 5 of the lineup. With Glewenke hitless, Rivoli hitless as well. Kyle Hess hitless too.
Here's the 0-1 pitch to Rivoli. Broken bat. It's going to be a slow roller to third. Tough play for Moretto. The throw over there, and he beat it. No, they say he didn't beat it. He's out. The first base umpire over there making a delayed call. Michael Finn bangs out Rivoli at first base, and it's a controversial out number 2. And Harvey Shapiro is going to want to have a chat about it. He is on the grass right now in fair territory. And he's looking to the bench saying, I can't believe that. Look for sure that he beat that one, Sam.
I was going to say, I don't know about that. It was a close play at first, but it looked like Rivoli had beat it out on the slow ground ball. It was a great pickup from Moretto over at third, but he had some problems on the exchange, it looked like. Couldn't get it out in time, but he gets the call. From my vantage point, that looks safe.
Both runners move up 90 feet, and now it's on Jake Mckenzie here with 2 away. There's going to be a base hit up the middle. Here comes Burleson, and it is going to be a 2 RBI single as Curtis comes around to score as well. Jake Mckenzie, and guess what, Sam? 2 outs yet again, and a 2 RBI single for Jake Mckenzie.
Oh, the discipline from Bourne batting with 2 outs has been tremendous. All 8 runs coming out on the brink of the innings with 2 outs, and Jake Mckenzie gets his second hit of the game, a 2 RBI single, and that's the insurance that Bourne really needed. They haven't suffered runs to Falmouth since the bottom of the 4th inning, but now an 8-2 lead. You feel pretty comfortable in the later innings.
Paul Gazzo now for the Braves. It's a fly ball into right center field. Hunt going back on it. It's over his head, and it finds the gap. It 2-hops the wall. Here comes the runner all the way from first base. That's Mckenzie. He's going to be in there standing up. It's a 2-out double for Paul Gazzo. 9-2 Braves.
Gazzo, his second double in a row. He doubled in the 6th, now doubles in the 7th, and gets an RBI. Great contact to right center field that was way over Maddox Houghton's head. Over and right. Gazzo, we mentioned in his double in the last inning, he got the first hit out of all catchers through 3 games. He gets the second hit of the game for himself. A great game for him and a great game for the Braves so far in the 7th.
An offensive explosion here tonight at Gov Fuller Field for the Braves. The offense that we all knew they had, as it's going to be Kyle Hess now stepping in looking for his first hit. He wants a little piece of the action here. 0 for 3 with a couple of flyouts on a strikeout his last time. First pitch is a breaking ball that finds the zone for strike 1.
And guess who's on deck? You're right back up to Xavier Warren with 2 outs.
When the bats are on, there is not an easy out in this entire lineup. Here is the 0-1. Fastball finds the zone. Strike 2 now.
Rosencrantz wants to get out of this inning right now. He wants to put Hess away so he doesn't have to face Warren again with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th with already 3 runs home.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. It's going to be fouled down to the first base line toward the Falmouth dugout. And we'll do things again here at 0-2. Rosencrantz being roughed up a little bit here in this top of the 7th inning. 3 runs aboard here for the Braves. Here's the 0-2 to Hess. Swung on and missed. He got him to go on the high stuff there for strike 3. But nonetheless, the Bourne Braves on top big time here at Go Fuller Field. It's 9-2 as we stretch. 9-2 our score. And you're watching it here on the Braves at Baseball Network. Well, Sam, we're here in the bottom of the 7th, and it is the first time I have ever heard Baby Shark as the 7th inning stretch song.
It's 2019. I guess times are changing.
I guess.
I have no explanation.
Back to baseball here. 7, 8, 9 spots due up for the Commodores. Blake Dunn leading things off. He is 0 for 2 so far. 0 for 1 with a walk so far here tonight. As the Commodores in big trouble here, down 7 runs with only, it looks like 12 outs left to go. First pitch missed down low for ball 1. And Harney, who's worked a great game here, misses up high 2-0 now.
And this has been, for Bourne, pitching-wise, pretty much the same thing as the first 2 games. 2 runs suffered in the early innings. This time they've actually got some offensive backing to it.
2-0 just misses the zone. Perhaps a little inside there. 3-0 now the count. And even with this big lead, you still never want to see a 4-pitch walk to start off the inning. Here's a 3-0 from Harney. That one just misses low, and it's exactly what we have. It's a 4-pitch walk here to lead things off in the bottom half of the 7th.
That's Dunn's second walk he's been able to work out in this game. Harney's not worried too much about it right now here in his 3rd inning of work. But still, starting off the inning with a runner on is not the way that Bourne wants to start this inning out.
And we're going to have a pinch hitter here for the Commodores. It is going to be number 20 here, Tyler Ross, stepping in for Austin Maisel.
He's replacing Maisel, who was 0 for 2 on the game with a walk back in the 4th. Now Falmouth looking for a little bit more offensive production.
So it's Ross that steps into Maisel's place. The runner on first is done. First pitch to Ross is just missed outside of the plate here for ball 1. Harney takes a peek over there at first base. First time he's had to work out of the stretch. And there goes the runner. Gazzo's already gunned one out tonight, but this time Dunn steals second pretty cleanly there. And it is a runner on second here with no outs for the Commodores.
Yeah, there was no chance for Gazzo behind the plate. Dunn got a great jump to it, was able to slide in safely by a pretty comfortable distance. That's also 6 straight balls thrown from Harney to start out the inning.
He's able to take a long break there in the top half of the 7th inning. Now has to resettle in, find the zone here. 2-0 the count to Ross. And this one fouled straight back on the screen, and there's the strike we were looking for. 2-1 now the count.
Tyler Ross is another one of those two-way players playing for Alabama in the SEC. Had a 255 batting average in the 2019 season, 14 hits, 7 RBIs. Didn't really get too much playing time at the plate. Pitching-wise, he was 1-3, 37 innings pitched, 10 walks, and 25 strikeouts.
Here's the 2-1 to Ross. That one misses down and away. It's 3-1 now. First base is open. Here with nobody out here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Bullpen is quiet right now for the Braves. Here's a 3-1 to Ross. Ground ball. It's Alika Williams. Got it. He throws on to first base. That's about as sure thing as you can get here with Alika at shortstop. There's one out.
Yeah, we know the kind of fielder that Alika is. A pretty routine ground ball right to him. And is able to hold Dunn over at second and puts him away for the first out.
Maddox Houghton now for the Commodores with the one away, and Blake Dunn, the runner, over at second base.
Houghton's been a pretty important player to be silenced. 0 for 2 today with a strikeout looking. In his 7 at-bats prior to this game, he was 4 for 7. Led the team in batting average coming into this one.
First pitch is outside for ball 1. Hayden Cantrell back on deck. Top of the order incoming for the Commodores. Harney sets. Hands meet at the letters. Fires. This one misses up high and in for ball 2. 2-0 the count.
Harney struggled a little bit with location in this inning, which is something we haven't seen him do through his first 2 innings of work. Struggling to find the strike zone.
Yeah. First walk allowed by Harney was to Blake Dunn. He later stole second. Here's the 2-0. That one finds the zone right at the knees. Good pitch there from Harney. Now it's 2-1.
I tell you what, nobody tells you when you're going out to the Cape that it's going to be this cold, but wow. It's first 3 games.
Yeah.
Whew.
It is pretty cold indeed, and it is supposed to be pretty chilly here for the foreseeable future with that rain. Here's the 2-1. That one misses up and in. 3-1. Hahn is 0 for 2 so far tonight. Grounded out to first and then struck out his second time. 9-2 our score. Braves on top of the Commodores by 7. This is broken bad. Ground ball to second base. Mckenzie's got to be quick with it. He gathers, throws it low, but Curtis is able to corral it for out number 2.
Coming off the end of the bat, that bat certainly broke, heading over to the second base area, and a good play over there by the Braves to put him away. 2 outs, runner on third, no sac fly opportunity, but with a 7-run lead, Braves are certainly pretty comfortable right now.
Yeah, Dunn is able to move to third on the ground ball to second. Now it's Hayden Cantrell here for the Commodores. He's 0 for 3, and he's pretty much gotten out almost every single way he can. And this one's another broken back. Ground ball to Mckenzie. Mckenzie's got it, shuffles, and throws in time for the outs. And the Braves here get out of the bottom of the 7th unscathed. It's no runs on 1 hit, 1 left on, and we head to the top of the 8th. 9-2 still the score. Braves on top of the Commodores. Welcome back to Guff Fuller Field here in Falmouth, Massachusetts. 9-2 the score, and the Commodores have made a pitching change coming on to the mound. Sam is going to be another Sam Weatherly for the Commodores.
Yeah, it's also another pitching change with Xavier Warren coming up. We've seen 3 of those already. Every single pitcher throwing for the Commodores, allowing a run, so they turn to Sam Weatherly to try and weather the storm. The rising, thank you, the rising junior from Clemson, 6'3", 200 pounds, the left-handed pitcher. That's why we see Xavier Warren batting righty. 27th round pick by the Blue Jays in the 27th round.
And Weatherly starts off his appearance here tonight with a strike at Warren's knees. Warren is a 3 for 4, a triple away from the cycle here. A home run in the third, a double with a 2 RBI double in the fourth. As this 0-1 pitch is fouled down the third base line, heads up over there by the bullpen. An RBI single in the 6th inning, and now he comes up here in the 8th.
Weatherly in 2019, a 3.38 ERA, went 2-0, 29 in the third innings pitched, striking out 46. He's from Howell, Michigan, was Michigan's Mr. Baseball as a senior in high school.
0-2 pitch misses in the dirt, 1-2 now the count. And after that foul ball, the bench over there getting manager Harvey Shapiro helmets after that. Have to look out for the manager down there, down the baseline.
Yeah, it might be a smart thing. Those things just come rocketing down that line.
1-2 the count to Warren. Here is the pitch from Weatherly. That one in the dirt yet again. Definitely do not want to make a mistake to this guy. 2-2 now the count.
Yeah, Warren's had a career game, especially in the Cape Cod League, which is supposed to be a pitcher-dominated league. He's really been all over Falmouth. He could have beat this team himself if he wanted to.
Here's the 2-2 to Warren. That one way out of the zone outside, and after being down 0-2, Warren's worked the count full.
Last time Warren was down to a 3-2 count, he had a 2 RBI double back in the fourth.
Here's the 3-2 to Warren. This one is going to be popped foul. Langworthy is in play, and he's able to put it out, and Warren pops out to first base here for the first out in the 8th.
They finally retire him for the first time since he struck out looking in the first inning, but can't say much more about Xavier Warren tonight. He's done an incredible job. 13 hits for this Braves lineup.
Now up steps Alec Williams, who's had a nice game himself tonight, 2 for 4. And his first pitch from Weatherly is in at the knees for strike 1.
There's also something to talk about. Xavier Warren's gotten an RBI against 3 different pitchers.
Here's the 0-1 to Alika. That one just misses high. 1-1 now the count. One is fouled straight back. Williams almost swinging himself out of his helmet there. Came a little loose. 1-2 now the count.
Weatherly saw a great improvement from his 2018 season where he had a 6.64 ERA and just over 20 innings pitched. Moved that down to 3.38 in 2019.
1-2 pitch is popped over there to Langworthy at first base. Did a lot of work, and foul Terry drifts back, and it lands fair for Alika Williams. He turns the corner, is going to second fast. The throw gets away, and he's going to be able to advance to third. Nobody's there, but he is going to stay put at second base. And what a crazy, that's only going to go in the book as a single there, I believe, for Alika Williams.
Well, we've seen a lot of those situations coming off the Braves' bats. We mentioned a couple of balls falling in shallow center field behind the shortstop. That time, down the first base line, looked like it was going foul. Austin Langworthy over at first also thought it was foul, kind of lost track of it as it was in the air and just had it drop right in front of him. And Alika Williams is able to get over to second. I believe they counted that as an error.
They did, yes. So that's going to go into the book as an error. It's going to go an error credited to Langworthy over there at first base. Kind of lost it in the wind. And now up steps Alec Burleson. First pitch is in the zone for strike 1. Burleson having himself a night, too. 2 for 3. A fielder's choice in the first. Followed that up with a single and a double, and he walked and later scored his last time.
Yeah, big-time debut for Alec Burleson in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Coming off a super regional where they lost to Louisville.
0-1 is in the dirt, and it's going to be a wild pitch as it heads into the Braves dugout. Williams is going to advance to third base, and Burleson has an RBI just 90 feet away.
Looking for his second RBI on the game. And a stat that I'm sure we're going to see him pad throughout the season. We know Alec Burleson's talent. for Eastern Carolina. Now looking to get Alec Williams home.
A little activity going on in the Braves bullpen. That's Blake Bruzel from Arizona State, just activated a couple days ago, along with Alec Williams. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here on the top of the 8th inning. Bourne up 9-2 over Falmouth. Here's the 1-1 to Burleson. High pitch. It's going to be a fly ball in the center field. Dunn will have it. He almost falls down in center field. Lost his footing. Does make the catch. Alika's going to tag. It's going to be a sacrifice fly RBI. And it's 10-2 for the Bravos.
Oh, that's a way to get your second RBI on the game. Burleson, a nice fly ball. And you mentioned Blake Dunn losing his footing a little bit. Contains himself. Finds the ball underneath the lights and puts it away for the second out. But Burleson, that's 2 RBIs for him. And the Braves, 10 runs, 10-2.
Definitely would not have seen this coming if you were just tuning into for the first time. Bourne up 10-2 over Falmouth, and up steps A.J. Curtis. Swing and a miss at the first strike. Big hack at that one. He's 2 for 4 so far tonight. Couple singles and an RBI as well in there. Fly out and a fielder's choice. Here's the 0-1. That's going to line drive. It is going to be caught by Moretto as a diving catch down the third base line. They call it a hot corner for the reason. However, the Bourne Braves get back on the board once again here in this top half of the 8th inning. It's 10-2 as we head to the final 6 outs of this one. The Braves on top. Welcome back into the 8th inning here at Gov Fuller Field. 10-2 the score. An 8-run difference here for the Braves. And it's going to be a new pitcher into the game for Bourne, Blake Bruzel. Sam, what do we got on him?
Yeah, the 4th pitcher pitching for the Braves in this game. Blake Bruzel, the rising sophomore from Arizona State, a right-handed pitcher standing at 6'6", 225, a tall guy that throws pretty hard, 5-1 record during his freshman season with the Sun Devils. A 1 save, 5.59 ERA, and 30 appearances, pitching 38 2/3 innings pitched. So typically coming out of the pen, 24 earned runs on the season, and opponents were batting .233 on him. So some great experience for Bruzel in a very prestigious summer baseball league in his first appearance of the summer.
And Blake Bruzel is going to be facing the meat of the order here. 2, 3, 4 spots for Falmouth here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Cruz steps in, takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. He's 2 for 3 so far tonight. The double, which he later scored, and a single as well. Here's the 1 to Cruz. Swung on and missed. Strike 1, 1-1 now the count, and Cruz not happy with himself. Likely swung at ball 2 there.
Yeah, if the Braves can get out of this game with just 4 pitchers used, I'd call that a pretty solid pitching game.
The 1-1 swung on and missed again. Cruz swinging hard there. 1-2 now the count.
We mentioned the amount of games that the Braves have in a little less than 2 weeks. A game every day scheduled right now, so not a lot of time to rest.
1-2 pitch swung on and missed. Bruzel loses his hat, but he gains a strikeout here. 1 away in the 8th.
That's the fourth time in this game that the leadoff batter has not only gotten out, but struck out. The Braves have started out almost every inning on top.
Austin Langworthy now stepping in for the Commodores. First pitch misses up high, ball one. Brazel last seen pitching for Arizona State in the regionals when they lost to Southern Mississippi. 1-0 misses up and away, ball two. Tough game for ASU as Brazel loses his hat again in the wind here tonight. Arizona State blowing a pretty sizable lead in that game. If they win that game, they force a championship game, get themselves into the championship game, I should say. This one misses down low. 3-0 now the count. Langworthy looking for his first hit. 3-1 is in the zone for a strike. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Grounded out and struck out his last time up. Here's the 3-1 from Brazel. Fouled straight back into the fence. And we'll do things here at 3-2.
Pretty solid job by Brazel to have this count at 3-0. Now work it to 3-2.
Here's the payoff pitch. 3-2. Line drive into right field. And it is going to be caught. It's a diving catch. And it's Noah Bridges out there in right field. He's filled in for Alec Burleson. What a play from Bridges for out number 2.
Bridges laid his body out on that shallowly hit line drive. And he's another guy who's battling for a position out there, slides and makes the grab with 2 outs now. What a play from Bridges.
Michael Finn taking his time to make the call, but it looks to be the correct one. What a play from Bridges for the second out, and now it's Baron Radcliffe. Now he's 0 for 3. A couple strikeouts, grounded into a double play, and he looks at a first pitch strike. Brazel now, here's the 0-1. That one finds a zone strike too, and I don't think Radcliffe has liked either of these first 2 strike calls. Here is the 0-2 to Radcliffe. Ground ball up the middle. Mckenzie not able to get there. It's going to be a 2-out single for Radcliffe.
Well, somebody's got to put a clothespin or something on Brazel's hat out there. I believe that's the 3rd time that thing's fallen off.
It has. It is loose, that's for sure.
Yeah. Maybe get him a new hat.
Back in the day, I was always told if your hat is falling off, it's time to get a haircut.
That's one way to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Brazel is for sure letting the flow grow a little bit. And it's not on the Noah Bridges level quite yet, but it's getting there.
Yeah.
Steven Moretto now for the Commodores. He's 1 for 3 with a double, an RBI double at that. A couple strikeouts as well, one looking, one swinging. He looks at a first pitch ball. Here's the 1-0 from Brazel. Ground ball. It's Alika Williams over there at short. He flips it over to Mckenzie at second, and it's a 6-4 putouts to bring us in to the last frame here. We go to the top of the 9th. It is 10-2. Braves on top, and you're watching it here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. We enter the final frame here at Gov Fuller Field. Braves on top of the Commodores 10-2. Jordan Palacio alongside Sam Wiederhaft. And Sam, this has been a much-needed offensive beating here for the Braves here tonight.
Of course, a big bounce-back game from their first 2 games on Monday against Orleans and Wednesday against Harwich, only collecting through those 2 games 7 hits and 1 run. The Bats come alive in this one for 13 hits and 10 runs. And I tell you what, that kind of production, when you have at least 13 base runners and are able to score 10, that's pretty solid. And we'll have a pinch hitter. We'll see Shane Muntz. And that's the thing. Shane Muntz, the leading hitter, is just now batting for the first time here. And without him, they've been able to score 10 runs.
Yeah, coming into tonight's game, he was the only bright spot on this team, offensively speaking. He's batting near 500 throughout the first 2 games. And now the first game he doesn't play in, or at least he doesn't start in, the offense explodes for 10 runs. But here he is going up against Sam Weatherly here in the top of the 9th inning. First pitch from Weatherly. That is in the zone at the bell for strike 1. Weatherly in the windup. Now kicks and fires. Here's the 0-1. That one breaking ball in the dirt. Evens things up at a ball and a strike.
For Muntz, he comes into this at-bat 3 for 6 on the season, an even 500 average. Had 2 hits at Orleans, a double and a single, and then got a single at home for Harwich.
1-1 pitch misses up and out. 2-1 now the count. Here's the 2-1. This one's going to be fouled down the first base line, up over the bleachers, and it's going to even things up at 2-2.
And for Muntz, we mentioned 3 for 6 with 3 hits. Those other 3 at-bats have all been strikeouts.
Two balls and 2 strikes. Here is the count to Shane Muntz. That one just misses outside. Fills things up now, 3-2. Here's the 3-2 to Muntz. That one is ball 4. They're going to look over to first base to appeal, and he is going to be called out on the appeal. They're going to say he did go around Mike Finn on the call over at first base, and it's a quick out here for the Commodores.
Oh, pretty quickly, Shane Muntz is showing that he's either a hit guy or he's a strikeout guy. There's really nothing in between. That's his 7th at-bat of the season. He struck out 4 times and gotten 3 hits. It was a tough check swing. Really close to holding it up on the appeal. They call it strike 3.
Brendan Rivoli now steps in. He looks at a first pitch ball. Rivoli 0 for 4 tonight, 4 ground outs. All either to second or to third. Here's the 0-1, or 1-0 rather. He swings and misses it. 1-1 now the count. One misses down and outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. And you said it, Sam. It's big for the Braves if they are able to go into tomorrow's doubleheader against Orleans, not using as many arms. 2-1 is fanned. That 2-2 now the count. And especially we mentioned here, Braves aren't going to have an off day if the schedule holds up until next Thursday.
Yeah, it's especially essential that they preserve as many arms as they can.
And the 2-2 pitch misses down and away, fills things up at 3-2.
Yeah, more pitchers to use throughout the game. It's a little check-in on Orleans. A 2-1 record for them. They tied last night. Right now, they're down 1-0 against Brewster.
3-2 pitch is in the dirt, and Brendan Rivoli gets on base here in the top of the 9th inning. I believe for the first time so far this season as well.
And Rivoli gets on with a nice little battle, works that 3-2 to a walk, and brings up Mckenzie.
Jake Mckenzie steps in. He is 2 for 4 so far tonight. 2 RBIs as well. Couple singles to his name. A stolen base in there as well. He's had a busy night so far on the stat sheet. Weatherly working from the stretch now. Kicks and fires. First pitch. That's in the zone for strike 1.
2 games against Orleans tomorrow. Both will be at home. And Orleans certainly proving to be one of the tougher teams here early.
0-1 pitch, swung on and missed, strike 2. Part of 2 Sunday doubleheaders back-to-back this week and the next. Again, it's going to be interesting to see how the schedule plays out the rest of the way with rain scheduled Monday through Friday, actually Sunday through Friday all coming week. 0-2 is swung on a miss, and Jake Mckenzie goes down on 3 straight pitches there for the second out.
A tough at-bat for Mckenzie, but you mentioned the weather. It's tough for a team to get into a groove when you're constantly having games getting rained out. This week was especially tough that Bourne really just – no other team can really just get the season started and get rolling with Bourne having 3 games canceled, many other teams having at least 2 games canceled. So hopefully looking at some better weather, but next week certainly doesn't look promising, but we'll see.
Paul Gazzo now, who's had himself a great night too, looks at ball 1. He's 2 for 3, 2 doubles, one of them including an RBI. He walked as well, 2 runs scored, and then the lone strikeouts back in the 3rd inning. Here's the 1-0 to Gazzo. Big swing and a miss on that one. He was looking for the fences. 1-1 now.
We can see that Weatherly has an extremely fast fastball that Gazzo just hasn't been able to catch up with. These Bourne batters have done a solid job at catching up with these fastballs throughout the game.
Weatherly kicks and fires. Here's the 1-1. Swung on and missed again. Got him to chase up on the high stuff. 1-2 now the count.
Doubleheader tomorrow will be one of 2 doubleheader Sundays, at least as it stands right now. Maybe need some make up some games later in the season.
1-2 pitches, swung on and missed, and Gazzo goes down on 4 pitches. And that'll take us into the final half inning. 3 outs left to go for the Braves to get their first win of the season. We head into the bottom of the 9th. It's 10-2 Braves, and you're watching it here on the Braves Baseball Network. The Braves 3 outs away from getting their first win of the early Cape Cod season in this 2019 season. Another new pitcher on the mound for the Bravos. It's going to be Carl Johnson out of UConn. And Sam, I believe you could probably start a basketball team with the height on this pitching staff.
Yeah, Carl Johnson, the right-handed pitcher, clocking in at 6'5", 190. I feel like every single pitcher I've introduced tonight has been 6'5" or higher. A lot of 6'6" pitchers, but when you're taller as a pitcher, it gives you a little bit of an advantage as you throw down to the batter. But Carl Johnson, the righty from UConn, like you said, hometown of Fairfield, Connecticut. He actually transferred from Army, spent the 2018 summer with the Mystic Schooners of the NECBL, went 2-1 in the last season with UConn. 1 save. He'll be looking for his first save of the 2019 summer here tonight. 4.09 ERA, pitching 33 innings. 27 strikeouts and 29 walks, and Harvey Shapiro gives him the ball to close out this game with an 8-run advantage.
He'll have to go up against the 6, 7, 8 spots here in the bottom of the 9th. It's going to be Turner, Dunn, and Ross, 2 up for the Commodores. And we've mentioned it a couple of times tonight, Sam. It's big for the Braves to finally get this first win of the season, kind of get the weight off their shoulders, if you will, here, especially in not a lot of games being played in this Cape Cod season.
Yeah, it gets the ball rolling a little bit, gives you some momentum, and gives you something you can look back on where, hey, this is what we did right. They really haven't, besides the pitching-wise, batting-wise, they really haven't been able to look back and say, hey, we did this right. And now you can use this game as an example to try and build off of throughout the season.
And Brazel's night comes to an end. He pitched the 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 strikeout, no runs. Michael Turner so far tonight, he is 2 for 3 with an RBI. Flew out his last time to center. And he leads the count right now 1-0. Here's the 1-0 to Turner. This one's lined into right center field. It's going to be a leadoff single here to start the ninth for the Commodores.
Well, not the way that Carl Johnson wants to start off this inning, but still plenty of cushion. I know I keep saying that Falmouth came back from a couple big deficits last night, but this is the last inning. Bourne seems to have this one wrapped up. Carl Johnson just needs to get the job done on the mound.
First pitch to Blake Dunn, misses the zone. Ball 1. He is 0 for 1. Flew out back in the second inning and has walked twice since. One 0 pitch is in the zone, and there's a much-needed strike there from Johnson. Blake Dunn. Look in. And he gets his pitch. That one in the dirt. 2-1 now the count. Ten runs, 13 hits for the Braves here tonight, compared to Falmouth's 2 runs on their 7 hits. 2 errors by the Commodores committed tonight as well. Here's the 2-1. That one just misses outside. 3-1 now the count. And I know it's easy to get enamored by the offense here, Sam, but the pitching has remained solid as well all season long for this team.
Yeah, absolutely. For the first 3 games as he walks him there on the 3-1 pitch. But just having 7 runs allowed through 3 games isn't the worst thing in the world. I mean, the pitching's done well. This has been another 2-run inning. Like we've seen, it has been pretty consistent through the first 3 games. It's been 2-run innings in the first 4 innings of play given up by the pitching staff this time. Like I said earlier, the Braves have finally had some offensive backing to it, and that's allowed them to get the win.
And we're going to have a pinch hitter here for the Commodores. It's going to be Ben Kasparius stepping in. It used to be Tyler Ross, and originally Austin Maisel. And it's now going to be Kasparius.
Kasparius coming from North Carolina, a rising junior. Another two-way player as well. 4.41 ERA pitching for UNC. Batting average wasn't the best at 179.
Yeah, only 3 runs, only 7 hits, 9 RBIs. Based off those stats, you would have to believe did not get a lot of opportunity to pitch. First pitch he sees is taking ball inside. And Paul Gazzo here going to call time, go talk to his pitcher up there on the mound, and Johnson.
Yeah, probably a smart move. This is Johnson's first appearance of the summer. Could be still working some jitters out, trying to close this game out.
Gazzo concludes the meeting, jogs back behind the dish, and we're ready to go here. Nobody outs here in this one. 10-2 the score. Bravo's on top of the Commodores. 8-run advantage, and it looks like the Braves, just in case, are going to get some bullpen action going. Here's the 1-0. That one just misses outside. Good frame from Gazzo. Didn't get the call. 2-0.
This has also been the longest game by far of our 3. We've had about, I think the first 2 games were about 2 hours, maybe a little less on that first one.
And this one is going to be clocking in most likely on the 3-hour mark coming up here. 2-0 is outside, and it's quickly grown to a 3-0 count here. Johnson in danger of walking the second straight batter.
Smart move by Shapiro to get another arm warming up in the bullpen. 8-run lead. I mean, you never know what's going to happen in this bottom of the 9th.
3-0, and there's the first strike there from Johnson. He's found the zone now. 3-1 is the count. Runners on first and second for the Commodores. Here's the 3-1. Ground ball to second base. Mckenzie's got it. He's only got one play. It's to first base. Both the runners move up to second and third, but we have the first out here in the ninth inning.
And Carl Johnson gets out of that one pretty lucky. A 3-1 count, and Kasperius was all go on that 3-1 pitch. Got him to ground out over to Mckenzie, who made a good play. Didn't even look at second. As it doesn't matter, they're just looking for the out.
Another pinch hitter here. Sean Harrington stepping in now. And Maddox Houghton in spots. Harrington coming from Babson, a D3 school. He batted 3 this past year. Another one of those temporary players. 49 hits, 7 doubles, a couple home runs, and 36 RBIs. You know, and if you're one of those temporary guys, this is your opportunity to really make an impact. You have a good at-bat, make some good contact with the ball. You know, you're able at least to play another day, quite literally. First pitch is up and in, ball 1.
Yeah, manager Jeff Trundy for the Commodores just getting some new players in there, new faces, trying to get them at bats and get a couple looks here in the Cape.
Johnson comes set here, hands meet at the letters. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and missed. Strike 1, 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 away here with the runners on second and third. The Braves on top, 10-2 here at Gulf Fuller Field against the Commodores. Braves looking for their first win of the season, and the Commodores, the only unbeaten team left on the Cape. Johnson sets, and here's the 1-1. That one finds a zone. 1-2 now the count.
Nice inside pitch, just painting the black for Carl Johnson. Now has him 1-2, a little more confidence back for Johnson.
Going up against Sean Harrington, the lefty. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. The Braves 1 out away from their first win.
Johnson, a great pitch. Had him 1-2. A tough swinging strike, and now the Braves just 1 out away from putting a W on this one and then moving back home to take on Orleans in a doubleheader.
Hayden Cantrell steps up as the last hope here for the Commodores. He is 0 for 4. Strikeouts, couple ground outs, and a fly out to center. And he gets his first pitch from Johnson. That's a foul ball up over our heads for strike 1.
Cantrell at the leadoff spot, struggling, 0 for 4. Struck out in the first. A fly out, a couple of ground outs as well. Not the game he was hoping for.
0-1, swung on and missed, strike 2, and the Braves 1 strike away from getting into the win column here this season. No balls, 2 strikes. Carl Johnson comes set, hands at the chest, breathes, and here's the 0-2 that misses up high for ball 1. One and 2. Here's the count to Carl Johnson. Here's the pitch. That one just misses the zone. Very easily could have been called the final strike, but instead it's 2 balls and 2 strikes now.
And Johnson just trying to throw a good pitch to try and get Cantrell to put it in play somewhere where they can make the out or strike him out.
Cantrell calls time here. Resets himself and now steps back into the box. Two balls and 2 strikes. The count to Hayden Cantrell. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Put a bow on it. The Braves have gotten their first win of the 2019 season.
And what a great game overall. Hitting, fielding, pitching. It all comes together in the third game of the season. The Commodores undefeated no more. They suffer their first loss of the summer, and the Braves pick up their first win, a big 10-2 victory here on Saturday night.
Could not get any better than this if you are the Braves. Your only 2 deficiencies coming in pitching. Not one of them. They stay strong, only giving up 2 runs. It was really all about the offense or really lack thereof throughout the first couple games, and they explode for 10 runs on 13 hits, Sam.
Absolutely, all behind the leading hitter for the Braves. Leadoff batter, Xavier Warren, an RBI, or excuse me, 4 RBIs. The first one coming from the third inning home run to straightaway center, then followed it up the very next inning with a 2 RBI double in the top of the fourth, and then an RBI single in the sixth to close out his 3-for-5 day. Alec Burleson making a little bit of noise, too, in his Cape Cod Baseball League debut with the Braves, an RBI double in the third inning, another double in the fifth, and a sac fly in the eighth. Burleson, 2 RBIs for him, and the offense comes together to put together a 10-run ball game and an 8-run victory over the Commodores here at Gov Fuller Field. A great win all the way around, and certainly gives the Braves, lets them exhale a little bit. They got that first win under their shoulders. Now they can roll on through the rest of the summer.
Our final line score here tonight, the Bourne Braves, 10 runs on 13 hits, no errors, with 5 left on base. And for the Commodores, 2 runs on 7 hits, 2 errors, and I leave 7 on the base pass. Ryan Cusick is going to get the win here tonight, and Gonzalez will get the loss for the Commodores. The Braves improved to 1 win and 2 losses, and Falmouth fall to 2-1-1 so far on the season. The Braves earned their first 2 points of the season as the Cape running on the point system, and the Commodores will stay put on 5 points on top of the West Division. What a game, though, from Xavier Warren and company, Sam.
Yeah, absolutely. Warren let the bat alive here in this game after struggling in his first game against Orleans, 0-for-3 there. Comes out in this one, 4 RBIs. There's not much more you can say about him. He electrified this hitting from the leadoff spot.
And we head into tomorrow afternoon. It is scheduled to be a doubleheader. First pitch set for 3 p.m. It's going to be against Orleans at Doran Park tomorrow. However, rain in the forecast, so make sure to stay tuned to all the Braves' social media accounts, mostly Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, to keep it logged for all the most recent updates. And we're going to take a quick break. And guess what, Sam? After the break, we're going to talk to the player of the game. Xavier Warren is going to join the Braves broadcast when we come back here from Gov Fuller Field. It's a 10-2 victory for the Bravos here tonight. Welcome back into the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Jordan Palacio here, joined by Xavier Warren. Xavier, what an incredible game. How good did it feel to get the bats going tonight for the first time this season?
It definitely felt really good. We got hot today, stringing a lot of hits together, and we were able to come out with the win, so it was nice.
How big of a weight off your shoulders is it to finally get this first win of the season? Definitely don't want to get too far into the losing column. How good did it feel to finally get this win tonight?
Yeah, it's not like we were playing bad before,
right,
but we were like right there. So I think tonight just gets us going back in the right direction, and maybe we can string a few wins together here.
And a whole bunch of hits for you tonight. What were you seeing out there with your approach? A lot of the runs coming with 2 outs. How does your approach change with 2 outs in the at-bat?
2 outs, it doesn't really change. I'm always looking for good pitches to hit in the zone. That's a big thing I try not to chase. But nothing really changes. Just try to put a good swing on the ball and hopefully drive in some runs.
Now, what was the treatment back like after you hit that home run? You guys give you the silent treatment? What was that like?
No, they were happy. For me.
Ah.
Yeah, it wasn't a silent treatment or anything. First home run of the year, so that was fun.
How did that feel? That felt good off the bat?
Yeah, that felt really good. Wind's blowing out today too, so I thought that helped a little bit. But yeah, it felt really good off the bat. I knew it had a chance, but I wasn't really sure, so it was nice to see.
Well, Xavier Warren, we appreciate you joining the broadcast. We'll see more of you tomorrow. The Braves getting the big win here tonight, 10-2, the final score from the Gov. We'll see you tomorrow. For Sam Wiederhalf, Xavier Warren, I'm Jordan Palacio, signing off for tonight. See you later, Braves fans.